listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Yeah, John and Cody were laying it down today. And the question becomes now that it's Florida week, my name is Basilio, fired up, focused, and prepared to be with you today. Did I say Florida week? Oh, I'm punch drunk. That's what happens to little boys and girls when you stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and you're on for 6 hours after a big win over Arkansas, Bino, Jeff. A big win over Arkansas that has, I don't know, I saw some people in the park yesterday and they were like, man, I'm really concerned about this trip to Alabama. Let's just start here before we get Bino in, because I usually get Bino in here and we'll let him go. Here's the thing about this week. When you looked at the schedule back in the summer and you looked at this game, what did you say? Unless you're my boy Sammy in the Ridge, who I love and have served all these years. You said this game's going to be a loss. That's what you said. So what's the point? Okay. Alabama's a free roll this weekend for the Vols. Alabama's very good in their building. Alabama's going to be very hard to beat. Alabama is down there with our defense. It's going to be a really hard game. Stranger things do and will happen throughout every weekend in college football these days. Stranger things do and will happen. Now, one thing that we say around here these days is when it comes to the SEC, any given Saturday, anything can happen. It's the closest thing to the NFL. That is all true. In the NFL, though, 9.5, 10-point underdogs generally don't go out and beat favorites. In college football, it's happening all the time. All the time. So why not us? And why not now? Why not us? Why not now? And I ask you, on the heels of the Arkansas game, now that we've had a chance to kind of cool off, can it be? Can this Tennessee team go to Alabama and change the narrative? Bino, Jeff, I'd like your thoughts on the game you witnessed with Arkansas and where we are. It was an interesting Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction we had the other night. First of all, I was kind of snappy because I was playing music out in the hot sun for Marcos Garza's tailgate, and it was really fun. It was a lot of fellowship, but as you know, when you sit out in that stuff, and especially when you're doing what we were doing, and really putting out the juice, man, it takes it out of you a little bit, so you get snippy and snappy. But we had people the other day, celebrate. You got to celebrate all these wins. But we had some people pumping up Arkansas, telling me they were a really good team. They're not. Telling me they're going to go to A&M and win. No, they're not. I mean, I love you and I love your show. And then we had some people acting like the sky was falling because Tennessee's defense is struggling to stop people right now. But we all knew Arkansas was going to score points, Bino, didn't we? We talked about that Friday. We just thought we'd score a lot more.
Yeah, I think both views are probably understandable, Tony. I think Arkansas is a very good offensive team.
Very good.
But they're not a good defensive team at all.
At all.
So
we stopped ourselves.
Yeah, you would have hoped for a little more separation.
Yep. Jump in there, Bino. Give me your thoughts on what we witnessed. And the floor is yours. And then we're going to go to the phones. And I'm asking the listener right now on this Monday, what is your feeling on the outset of Bama week? And where are the Vols in this pecking order right now in the SEC? We're half season in now. We're 6 games in. Where are we in that pecking order? Go ahead, Bino.
First of all, Tony, happy Alabama week to everyone. It's one of the special weeks and one of the special games in all of college football. So happy to get here at this point, 5-1, which I was hopeful we were going to be able to do. Also, before I jump into the game, happy heavenly birthday to my mother and the Paisan, who would have been 99 and 70, respectively, yesterday. And happy heavenly birthday to the late, great Roger Davis. Not sure how old he would have been, but today's his birthday. I miss every one of them, but I wouldn't call any of them back from the paradise they're now residing in to ease my pain. So happy heavenly birthday to all three. The game on Saturday, obviously some defensive concerns. I don't think you could come out of that game with any other viewpoint, especially giving up 240 yards rushing at a better than 5 yard per carry clip and almost 500 yards total offense. The Hogs were 7 of 13 on third down conversions, something we talked about that Tennessee has to get a whole lot better at with Richard last week, and they were 5 out of 5 in the red zone, with 4 of them being touchdowns. And that's something that they obviously are going to have to improve if they want to have any hopes of being a playoff football team at the end of the year. One thing I will give them is they obviously made adjustments to slow down Arkansas's running game in the second half, shut out Arkansas in the third quarter, which gave Tennessee an opportunity to build a 17-point lead that proved to be insurmountable. And once again, had 5 sacks and took the football away 3 times. And there's no way we win if they don't do those things. So, and like Tony, I'm not sure that taking the ball away at the rate that they're taking it away and in the timely manner in which they're doing it is sustainable. But it's something that this defense has done for half the season so far. Offensively, I was mostly pleased. The Hogs were somehow the first team to kind of neutralize Brazzell. But we had other receivers step up, especially Staley stepped up big. And Tennessee actually ran the ball better than Arkansas did, which is hard to believe, averaging almost 8 yards per carry. Played turnover free, which was huge in winning the game. My only real issues offensively were the 2 and 9 on third down that we've got to get better at, and inability to take an early lead after forcing the first turnover in plus territory. I think we only scored 7 points off turnovers. One of them, understandably, I think we knocked it loose in our own red zone, so you don't automatically score on those. But you'd hope when you get a turnover on the plus side of the field, you need to get some points out of it. Bottom line remains the same for me. It's SEC football, and what we've declared is an era of parity like no other. Just win the game, and Tennessee won the game. So they put themselves in a great position going to Alabama with a huge opportunity on Saturday.
No question. You know, college football is really about perspective. And perspective's a hard thing to have in this sport right now because these weeks aren't relating to each other. But yet they are. Like, for instance, I would have thought, Bino, and a couple people made this point, Cinco made it Saturday. When we got up 17 on those guys, old Heupel teams just throw the pedal to the metal and throw it down and blow those teams out of the door. It's what it felt like was getting ready to happen. But it didn't Saturday. So...
Yeah, Tony. I mean, that came down the field after we scored to go up 17 and cut it to 10.
Yeah.
And at that point, I kind of commend Heupel for the way he handled the game from that point on. If we go out there and have a 3 and out where we throw 2 passes and we take 0 time off the clock,
that's right,
we lose the football game.
That's right.
I think that he knew that he had enough points at that point. His enemy at that point was not Arkansas, it was the clock. Well, his enemies were the clock and his defense.
Yeah.
And had he winning the game is what I want to do, and the way he handled the end of it, we won the game. I'm not sure we win the game otherwise, and if we go out there and have one of those series where we leave just a little bit more time on the clock, and they come back and beat us, we're having an entirely different discussion.
Oh, hell. Oh, you're kidding.
We're talking about how he did not handle the clock the way that he should.
That's right.
one good thing is that Arkansas took 5 minutes to score that touchdown to get within
That's right.
10.
Exactly.
And I said, well, if they can do another one of those, they won't have time to get a third chance, which they needed.
Here's the other thing that we have to keep in mind. There are no style points. Now, Arkansas and Mississippi State aren't very good teams. They're just not. You can wish and hope and tell me they're good. And that Arkansas team is going to get run over by Texas A&M this weekend unless something really strange happens, like A&M's history gets in the way. Because you know what I think of A&M historically, but that team I saw Saturday night, that is not A&M historically. That is a loaded college football team. It's kind of like when you look at Indiana right now and you go, oh, well, I guess that's not history out there playing on the field. I guess those are players, which gets me to this. Some of you like to worship coaches, and that's fine. Some of you want Tim Banks' scalp right now. What is he supposed to do right now? And I do get the criticism that that's his secondary. Okay, that's fine. And I do get that those are his safeties, though I understand he hasn't been coaching the safeties. Willie Martinez has. They've kind of shifted things, and they've given some other people some responsibility and whatever. But if you don't have the players, and you have linebackers that are taking crazy angles, which we've seen, and this Simpson guy this weekend is going to roll out. He's going to get Tennessee. He's going to get off platform. They're going to get discombobulated, and he's going to turn them around. And you just hope that he has the kind of day that Milroe had last year, where Milroe couldn't hit a pass. So, hey, Bino. We got some openings now in college football. It's silly season.
Wow.
All right. Did Penn State play around with James Franklin after making the national semifinal last year?
No, they're absolutely not playing, Tony. I can't believe the things that unfolded to where James Franklin is without a job today. I mean, how many coaches in this country would you have thought would have lost their job before James Franklin?
I mean, it's amazing. You know what I wonder?
That's stunning.
How much does this tarnish him? Does a Florida go after him? Does an Auburn go after him? Or do they see him as marked? Because I'll tell you this, Auburn would love to make the playoffs every year. Florida would love to win 10 games and make the playoffs every year right now, Bino. It's kind of about perspective, isn't it? Penn State was getting bored with him. He's the old adage that we kind of believe in, which is if you're not exceptional and great, after 10 years, it's time for you to go. How long was he there, Bri? How long was Franklin at Penn State?
Let's see. His last year at Vandy was 2013, so 2014 would have been his first at Penn State.
10, 11 years.
That would be 12, going on 12 years,
Yeah,
That's
it. 11 and a half years. That was it for him. He's a perfect example of that, Bino. He won at a really high clip. He bored those people. His offense was boring. He ran it no matter who the coordinator was. There's too much wasted motion. It's kind of like that stuff Butch Jones used to do. It's just a bunch of nonsense. And rank the jobs for me, Bino. You ready? You and Brian. Then we'll go to the phones. Auburn's going to be open after this weekend. And by the way, APB for Mark in Columbus. It's Columbus Day, and I am calling and inviting you to call in and give me your thoughts on the implosion of Hugh Freeze at Auburn. And also, Mark, I'd like you to please acknowledge the fact that I don't know what Hugh Freeze did to the SEC office, but they done screwed him. Because I'm going to tell you something, Beanstar. Tony Basilio, whoever that guy is, was on the right side last week. He called Georgia losing that game, and it should have been 17-0, Bino. Through time immemorial in history, when you break the plane with the ball in your hand, that's a touchdown, Bino, and that's exactly what happened in that game.
Yeah, I was thinking about that early in the game, about your prediction all week that Auburn was going to win the game, and thinking about how, man, you had nailed that, and you should have nailed it. Hugh Freeze may be the only guy in the league that gets a worse whistle than Josh does.
Amen to that. Now that Herb Hughes, Bry, is exiting stage right, Josh Heupel's going to be the whipping boy of the guys with the whistles, because he gets zero calls. They respect him not at all. They walk on Josh Heupel like he's a doormat. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Danny White's doing with the league, but whatever it is not working, boys and girls. It is just not working.
Hugh Freeze and Heupel aren't really the same personality-wise. You'd think that, I guess maybe they're punishing Hugh Freeze for how it ended at Ole Miss maybe, and how he sort of was outcast for a while, but Heupel just comes across as someone who isn't like that at all, and he's not. And it's just two different types of personalities, and they respect neither. Heupel has to do something about that.
Another one of my officiating buddies told me that this lay-down lineman thing's really, really, really – he thinks that Tennessee's making a mockery of the sport, and they're holding it against him, kind of like Matt says. And it's really a silly exercise. I wish he'd let it go, but I guess he's going to do him. All right, Bino, let's rank the openings. Auburn, Florida, Penn State. Give them to me, because they're all going to open.
I'll go Penn State 1, Tony, just simply because Auburn is always going to be the little brother to Alabama in their own state. I'll go Florida 2nd, just because of how many football players. I know there's a lot of competition for them, but just how many football players there are that you can throw a rock in 4 directions and recruit in that area and have a pretty good football team. And I'll go Auburn 3rd, just because of the history of unstable leadership, or as far as who's actually controlling that football program.
Their AD chasing the officials into the locker room at halftime looked like something out of professional wrestling. But I will say the officiating looked like something out of professional wrestling. And when they came back after halftime and did that thing with Kirby and the timeout, and him talking them out of that, why doesn't Kirby just wear stripes? Why doesn't he just wear an officiating vest over there and just make it official? He's a member of the crew. It's like it's a controlled practice, and he's over there sort of a de facto official, Bino. He talked them into that fumble. He talked them into that. He ran onto the field down to the 7-yard line. Should have got a 15-yard penalty, man. What are we doing? I'm channeling my inner James Seltzer right now. Listen, when we come back, we're going to get some calls. Now, I'm putting out an APB for Colombo because it's Columbus Day. And he's marking Columbus. So I'm putting out – I hope we get him in our set of 3 love songs in a row. College football's nuts. And Bino has to deal with the fact that Paisan he hates is literally on top of the college football world right now. And I don't know how this guy at Indiana's done this. And I want Bino's dead-level thoughts on this on the other side, if he believes – that Kurt Signetti can really coach, or if this is some kind of mirage. And if he was one of those halves, a Florida in Indiana, Florida, an Auburn, or a Penn State, if he'd make a run at Signetti, or is this just a flash in the pan? I want your opinion on Tennessee, Alabama this week. I'm taking your temperature on a Monday. Are the Vols set up to go on the road and roll, or are they set up to go on the road and get rolled? How are you feeling on this Monday as we continue with more on your other side right after this?
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new, high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
It was an incredible weekend of family fellowship, fun, football, of all win, a long Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction. And now, like Bino said, you wake up and it's Alabama week, and there is just something about the rhythm of college football season. And now that it's just become a crazy sport where all these teams are interrelated, where they're all sharing players annually. And then we look up there, Bino, at Hoosier Ryan's boys. And we're going to go to the phones here momentarily. And Brian's telling me that Lumbo is heeded the clarion call and is going to lead things off on the TLD Logistics phone lines. Brian, Bino, explain to me what's going on in Indiana. How's a guy doing that? How do you put a team together that you can go out there and compete with Philip Knight's money when you're at Indiana with a bunch of 3-star players, basically? How's he done this?
Tony, I have no idea. Listen, the guy rubs me the wrong way, but I've never denied that if you can go to Indiana and do what he's done, he's obviously a fantastic coach. Now, you know, I thought last year when I watched it, it was a little bit of smoke and mirrors. That the payoff was greater than I thought that it would have been due to a favorable schedule that he had. But you just can't deny a guy that rolls out there to Oregon and beats Oregon on their home field in year 2. You know, I never saw that coming. So now we've taken it to a completely different level than I thought. He's achieved way above and beyond what I ever thought he was. I don't hate the guy. He rubs me the wrong way because he's one of those guys that he's a Richard because he wants to be a Richard. You know, he doesn't have to be. That's what. But I've never denied that the guy can coach. What he's done at Indiana has been miraculous.
Bino, he told the sideline reporter lady after the game, he said, look, driving here, he said, now, you might not believe this, but I've coached in a lot of big games in my career. He does that whole thing he does, you know, that old little diatribe thing he does. He said, because he's the same guy that said, check my trophy case when he first got the job. We're going to win big here. And they were like snickering at him, and he said, okay, check my trophy case. The guy's in his second year. He's at Indiana. I mean, that's just not possible.
You know, obviously, this is a guy that probably should have gotten an opportunity at this level long before he did. And he's apparently still mad about that and mad at the world about that. I mean, just be a little gracious is all I'm asking for. Just be a little thankful for the blessings that you're getting there.
I just Googled Cignetti, and Google suggested Kurt Cignetti contract, which means that there are millions of people around the country that are querying Kurt Signetti contract. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, with these openings coming up and
gee, I wonder
how he's
why.
flying there.
He coached at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. He coached at James Madison. When he was at James Madison, they were cover machines when he was there. They had zero mercy on anybody. One fall, man, I just kept winning with them. Just boom, boom, boom. Every week. That was just a solid, straight thing. Cover. And they just went out and just hammered people. It was right the year before he got the Indiana job. He's 17-2. 17-2 at Indiana. He is a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He played at West Virginia. He played quarterback there.
You know, doesn't West Virginia might want to think if he's a West Virginia alum that they missed a chance?
A lot of people think they missed a chance, Bino.
I mean,
because I'm not.
Instead,
listen,
they got.
Hey guys, I'm not sure Penn State's a better job than Indiana right now, in the modern climate we're in. I'm not sure of that. Are you, Bino? All it takes a couple millionaires to fund your deal. I'm not sure I'd leave if I were him. Why would you leave?
Well, I don't think I would leave if I were him, Tony, because regardless of how the game changes, there's never going to be the pressure on him at Indiana that there are at some of these other spots he's talking about.
Yep.
Because Indiana's always going to be basketball first. I don't care what he does up there, how long he does.
And he reminds me of early Bruce Pearl so much here. It's just not even funny. Yeah. It has that same feel to it. His peers in the profession hate him. He doesn't care. He's extremely arrogant. He's running everybody over. They're playing this breakneck I mean, they gave up a defensive touchdown. Gave up a defense and rolled by multiple scores at Oregon. Who does that? Let's go to the phones. And they beat that poor Moore kid up. They beat him silly. They knocked him silly. To the phones we go. Lumbo leads it off on Columbus Day. It's Mark in Columbus calling on Columbus Day.
Tony.
And Lumbo, may I say, since it is Columbus Day, the floor is yours. I'm going to let you go unfettered here today, so go for it. The floor is yours.
Well, I mean, do you really expect Hugh Freeze to get any call from any official? I mean, the guy, nobody likes the guy. Nobody respects the guy. They're going to screw him every chance they get. That was a given. He's never made one update to his offense ever, and he decided to go out to replace Peyton Thorne. He went out and got Peyton Thorne because he's so arrogant. He thinks he can turn anybody into quarterback. That roster's loaded. Those receivers are studs. The defense is stacked, and he went and got Jackson Arnold because he's that arrogant. And the Hugh Freeze tenure at Auburn will come to a merciful end this coming week. So maybe he could take his buyout money and head back to Liberty, where he never should have left.
Hey, Bino, there were guys running wide open in the second half the other night in that Auburn-Georgia game, and that kid just can't hit them. He just can't. Matt Dixon, we're watching it. Matt goes, man, what a great play call. Guy's wide open in the middle of the field. And that kid who's from that entire class of quarterbacks, I don't know what happened with that class of quarterbacks, but whew. That guy can't play, Bino. I mean, Columbus has a good point there.
No, he can't, Tony, and that was my fear for Auburn at the start of the year. I just did not, based on what I had seen, I just had no trust that Jackson Arnold was the guy.
I thought Hugh could turn him into a quarterback because he's always been able to do that down through the years, reach his quarterbacks.
Yeah, Tony, he did it 10 years ago. I mean, okay, he took Chad Kelly, who was a five-star high school kid and got in trouble at Clemson and went to Scuba. He had that kid. Now, if you had that kid on the Auburn team, sure. But the only reason Chad Kelly ended up at Ole Miss is because he got in trouble at Clemson. And he made Bo Wallace a really good player. Other than that, no. Malik Willis was just athletically superior to everybody in that league. And that's where Hugh should have stayed. At Liberty, where he'd have more money than anybody in the league.
Yes,
he could make the playoff as a group of 5 participant, more times than not, and be fine. Make his $5 million a year and be fine.
Yep.
But he had to try to step back in the spotlight because he's an attention whore. And this is what happened. The guy's not a good coach. The only reason people think he's a good coach is because he won 2 games 10 years ago. Alabama, they beat Alabama in 2014 and 2015, 10 years ago. Guy's not any good. Period. I think we could finally put that to bed. That guy's some kind of good coach. He's not.
Anything.
But I do want to say,
Yeah, go ahead.
I do want to say real quick, Tony. Everybody needs to say a small, condolences to me. I had Jared Goff 90-1 to score the first TD last night. I don't know if you saw the game, but he scored, and 2 minutes later they got a buzz down from the booth to call an illegal procedure on Detroit Lions on the play, and they didn't score. It was a lot of. I'm still pretty sick about it.
So we're buzzing down on illegal procedures now in the NFL.
Yeah.
Bino,
It
you
was
like
pretty
that?
gross.
Bino, you like that? That use of replay?
No, I did not say that. That's absolutely ridiculous. I do not like that.
Pretty sick.
Meanwhile, the SEC got talked into scoring a touchdown with Georgia, when obviously, or not a touchdown, rather a turnover in that Auburn game, which even Columbus will admit he broke the plane, and it was 17-0. Even you'll admit that.
Yeah, I mean, look, the SEC is not. They're not naive. They know they have an officiating problem, but I just don't know if they know what they're supposed to do about it. Do you make these guys full-time guys like the NFL? I mean, do they have the money to do that? I don't know. Like, what's the solution? That's my thing.
Well,
like,
one
I get
solution
it.
would be
when
Kirby.
The SEC knows they have a problem. They're not dumb. They're not saying he's not dumb. He knows he's got a problem. I just don't know what's to be done unless you make these guys full-time officials.
When Kirby runs onto the field, Columbus, here's an idea. Throw a 15-yard penalty on him. You can't run down there to the 7-yard line and run on the freaking field. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But he gets away with it.
Look who was on the other sideline, Tony. They ain't going to give that guy any love.
That's a great
anywhere.
point. Our guy and that guy. I don't know what our guy did to anybody, Bino. It might be the lay-down lineman thing. It might be the way he looks or project. I have no idea. But whatever it is, I mean, they hate our guy, Beanstar.
Well, I mean, his teams have always been highly penalized, Tony. So from that standpoint, what I don't understand is how the other team rolls in, how Ole Miss rolls in and is penalized one time. Now, we declined too, but
Arkansas,
how do they roll in? I mean, Arkansas roll in,
it's the truth.
and they're penalized one time.
One time.
That's impossible.
With firing 2 defensive assistants and an interim coach, you play that cleanly? You got to be kidding me.
Do they respect Petrino? Was it Bobby Petrino that much?
I don't know, bro. He really
I
does.
hope not.
He really cuts a real figure down there in his Ray-Bans, wearing them at night. It's like somebody Lumbo would
Tony,
run around.
Arkansas needs to keep losing if they know what's good for them, because you can't let the Little Rock boosters even have an inkling of hiring Bobby Petrino.
No doubt about it,
They need to keep losing. Play hard, but lose.
Play hard, but lose.
Because they don't want that. What we're talking about, Penn State job, like Signetti's not going there, and Lane's not going anywhere it's cold unless it's the Ohio State job or the NFL. Like he's not going there.
I'd call Lane Kiffin if I were them. Lane Kiffin's a guy that
he's not going somewhere. He's not going to the cold weather unless it's Ohio State or the NFL.
Rank the jobs, Lumbus, that are open. Rank them. You're in Lumbus, so Penn State, Florida, Auburn. Those 3 jobs are going to be open. Rank them.
I'd say Penn State, Florida, Auburn. But the thing about it is, Tony, we could say all we want about the perception of these jobs and like what they're supposed to be. And can't believe they fired James Franklin for getting out of the playoffs. But our opinion doesn't matter. It's not reality. The reality is whatever the local perception is. And the local perception at Penn State is this guy can't get us over the hump. He's just lost 2 ridiculous games. He's out of here.
The guy in Indiana, too, is showing me that you can win a national championship at probably 20 schools right now. You can win a national championship at Penn State.
He hasn't won the national championship
but
yet.
You
Tony.
can.
He beat an Oregon team that kind of slept walk. They give them all the credit in the world. They kicked their ass. I get it. Oregon was kind of asleep, I thought.
You could win one here.
They took advantage, and they're legit. Like they're a legit team. Last year was a little bit. There was all a bunch of James Madison kids and James Madison 3-stars and the quarterback from Ohio U, and he beat everybody that isn't very good in the Big Ten. Then when he stepped up against the big boys, he kind of went into a shell to not get completely blown out. And so, I get it. This is a legit team. They haven't won any national title yet.
And by the way, your boy Lane Kiffin would crawl to that Penn State job. You and this fascination.
Tony, he's not going to the
now.
cold
They're not
weather.
going to take him. They're
not going to the cold weather.
They're not going to take him because they think they're high-minded there, and they wouldn't fool with a guy with his past. But they wouldn't take him for that reason, Brian. They wouldn't take him for that reason.
Tony, he's not going to the cold weather. He's not.
Okay.
James Franklin's
he'd go to Ohio State. He'd go to the NFL. He's not going to the cold weather.
Say it again, Brian.
James Franklin is the 5th winningest coach in the last 3.5 years.
God.
There's only been 4 coaches that have been better than he is record-wise.
One of them's a day guy.
The reality is the Penn State people think they should be playing for the national championship every single year.
It makes no sense.
If that's the only reality that counts, is their perception of the job.
It makes no sense.
And if you're at Penn State, you've got a ton of money. It's a huge school, huge alumni base, huge enrollment. It is in the middle of nowhere, but you've got a ton of money, and they expect to be Ohio State.
Yeah, that Pagola guy.
Whether you think that's possible or not doesn't matter. They think it is, and they want somebody to deliver that. Now, if they go and hire Matt Rule, they're just hiring James Franklin again. The guy doesn't beat anybody good ever. They're 5-1 this year, but they haven't beaten anybody with a pulse.
Nope.
So, and he's going to have trouble the rest of the year trying to navigate that because he wants the job. He'd crawl there.
Are you kidding?
But it's just the national perception of that job doesn't matter. It's what the Penn State people think they are.
All right, Lumbo, on the way out, how are you feeling right now? Inquiring minds want to know. How are you feeling about this opportunity the Vols have with Alabama? It's the same thing Indiana had last week, just an opportunity. It's a game everybody thinks you're losing. You're going to be close to a double-digit underdog, whatever it is. What do you think?
Better score 42 to have a chance.
You're a real.
Can they do that? I'm not all that impressed with Kane Womack's defense. Can they do that?
You're a real barrel of sunshine.
I'm got to score 42. I mean, because these linebackers, DeBoer's going to do donuts around this linebacking core. He's putting 45 points on the board.
Bino, you agree with that?
Tim Banks, I know isn't great, but these linebackers are not good. They all run about 4.8.
Bino, what do you think, Beanstar?
I think that Tennessee will probably defend the run better, obviously, than they did on Saturday, especially if Alabama's running back's out, just simply because you don't have to account for Simpson the way you did Green in the running game. So I think that we'll be able to slow the running game down a little bit. But what you can do over the middle to Tennessee's defense throwing the football scares me to death with Simpson.
Mark, how are you going to celebrate?
I will say, Tony,
yeah,
this is the 4th straight, what I would call, big game for Alabama in 4 weeks.
No doubt about it.
How much starch do they have left? I don't know. That was a kind of a sledgehammer game Saturday against Missouri. They put out a lot of effort. I mean, it's the 3rd Saturday in October at night in their own building.
Yep.
Sure, but Tennessee needing kind of 2 coins. They were in control against Arkansas the whole way, but 2 3-point wins over 2 of the 3 worst teams in the league doesn't project all that great for the rest of the schedule.
Thank you, Lumbus. How do you celebrate Mark and Columbus Day? What kinds of things do you do besides your normal besides your normal prayers to the Lane Kiffin shrine that you have in your house? Is he a trip, Bino, or what? Lumbus, who did answer the bell.
I enjoy Mark. He entertains me. I like him.
Here's a thing to file under your hat today. What's the guy down there at Ole Miss, Bri? What's that fella's name that we've had on a time or two?
Neil McCready.
McCready said today on his show he's predicting. He said if he had to guess, he said, because the Simmons kid's upset, apparently he's going to leave Ole Miss because he doesn't like the fact that he got beat out by a better player. That's the era we're in. This guy's better than you are, man. I'm sorry. He got a chance to play, and he's better than you are. I didn't do it. And he didn't do it. And you surely didn't do it. But they're saying that guy's going to leave. And there's speculation there that from McCready that Nico will be back in the league at Ole Miss next season. Again, that shows you how perception in that sport can change so quickly. Because a couple weeks ago, James Franklin was happily employed and was going to be there for years. And Nico was not a Power 4 conference starter. You don't think that sport changes quickly, do you, Bino? And Tennessee could flip the script this weekend. Bad defense and all with a win with Alabama. A flawed Alabama team. A winnable game. Not a game that's out of reach. This is not Tennessee going down there in the 2019 and Nick Saban's coaching and you're a 35-point underdog. No, this game is very much in reach, but you better come with your best stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. I don't think this game's out of reach by any stretch. And it's even stranger that those two stories that you mentioned are intertwined. How did that happen? How did Nico and James Franklin's fate become tied together?
You know what's funny? I was talking to my brother yesterday when the Franklin news broke. My brother Richard there, who lives it, breathes it, loves it, and dies it. And that never even came up. If Nico didn't transfer to UCLA, he's probably still employed. Yeah. Weird, man. That's a really good point, Bino. I'm of the belief, though, and Bino just kind of pointed to that indirectly, which is the sport is completely related now, especially when it comes to the SEC and the Big 18. These teams are going to fight over coaches. They're going to fight over players. They're going to fight over coordinators. They're going to fight over booster dollars. They're going to fight over, you name it, they're going to fight over it. They're going to fight over oxygen. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Happy Monday to you. Rice fans, Rice fans, Rice fans. Let's try this again. Happy Monday to you.
Tony.
Yeah, welcome in.
Hey, thanks, buddy. How did we not ask Colombo?
I don't know, Rusty. I'm not good at my job. I'm not good at my job, Rusty. That's how I didn't ask.
No, I know you're not. This is a
that's
this
how.
is a joke, I know. This is an off-topic thing. I didn't even think about it until after he was already off. About his Lane Kiffin Ole Miss team scoring 24 points and squeaking by Washington State, who previously gave up 59 to Washington and 59 to Texas State.
You know, Ole Miss almost looked like they were distracted. I mean, Kiffin all these job rumors coming up might be distracting to that program. They were a 35-point favorite in that game.
The truth is it's a noon kickoff, and they're not taking the opponent serious. It happens all the time. It's a joke. It's not a real thing. Ole Miss, nobody's going to care about what Ole Miss did against Washington State when they're in the playoffs in 8 weeks. It's just college football. You're going to have weeks where your kids are all looking forward to the party tonight, and they're not really focused, but they got the W. It's all that matters. It's just funny that, Lane
Washington
Kiffin's a hero,
State,
and I love Lane, but he did look pretty ordinary against a really not great team of the Washington State Cougars.
Also, Rusty, I don't think Washington State. Never mind.
No, go ahead, Bino. Get. You can go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're allowed to converse here. No, go ahead, Bino. You're allowed to converse. Go ahead. Bino, go ahead, man. Beanstar. Where'd Bino go?
Bino, we lose you?
I think we
should. I'm here, guys.
Go ahead, man. Make your point, Bino. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I don't think Washington State could have found a better spot on Ole Miss's schedule if they'd allowed them to just, hey, where do you want to be on there? Ole Miss obviously should blow that team out, but you're coming off a game with LSU. You got an open date, and then beyond Washington State, you got Georgia, then you got Oklahoma. So if they were going to sleepwalk through one, that would probably be the one that you would point to and say, hey, it's going to happen.
Plus, as Orange Blood said, they might have had an experienced team. You could say the Cougars were too old for Lane Kiffin. Go ahead, Rusty.
Speaking of off weeks and coming off of off weeks, how is it our worst performances, like with penalties and mistakes, generally come after bye weeks? It's like 4 years in a row now. We put up a really bad mental performance after a bye week.
Rusty, that game was so weird the other day because people were calling me, wanting me to sell for that win, and then people
there's
were
no excuse in it.
I don't know, and then people were
Josh sitting on the ball when they cut it to 10 points and just trying to run the clock out. If we go up, if he tries to score and make it 41-24, and does, we all feel great. We all feel fine because we thought they would score around 30. We just thought we would score in the high 40s. But Josh just tried to run the clock out, doesn't do it, punts back to him, and then they get it to a 3-point game. But even before that, we got all those illegal snaps, which the illegal snap on 4th and 1 was an atrocious call. We did nothing wrong. They jumped off sides. We reacted. Our center didn't even move or flinch or shake the ball, nothing. But anyway, how about this? Couple lines for this coming Saturday that are surprising. One, Duke is favored by 1.5 over Georgia Tech. Undefeated, number 12 in the country, Georgia Tech. That's a funny line to me. We are an 8.5-point underdog. The opening line that came out at Alabama, which is that's a good line. But how about this? A&M is favored by 7.5 against Arkansas. We're a bigger underdog at Bama than Arkansas is with A&M on Saturday.
Wow. Now that's crazy, Bino, isn't it?
I didn't hear the last part that
we
he
are
put together.
We're a bigger underdog.
Oh yeah,
than
Arkansas is at A&M.
Yes.
Yeah.
That game is at Arkansas, by the way.
All the money's going to come in on A&M, I'm guessing, and that line's going to get up to like 9.5, 10.5, and there might be some money on us because all the computers say that us and Bama should be like a 2 or 3 point ball game for them. So we'll see where the lines go when the smart money starts coming in. So I was on Banks the other night, and maybe I was probably a little bit emotional in the moment, like a lot of people probably were. But the truth is, A&M is the best team in the conference at getting people in 3rd down and long, meaning they stop you on 1st and 2nd and force you into a passing down. They get you in 3rd and 7 plus, the most. And then they get off the field at like 9 out of 10 times in the percentages when they have you in that situation. We're the 2nd best team in the conference at getting you in 3rd and longs. And we are monumentally the worst team after we get you there and getting off the field. We're allowing teams to convert when we get them in 3rd and 7 plus 60% of the time.
I like the angle we took Thielander in space, and it's really not fair because that kid's an exceptional player, Bino. But that kid the other day at quarterback rolls out, and I mean we lose
and
all contain on our ends, and Thielander just doesn't use the sidelines at all, Bino. He doesn't use the sideline at all. I mean,
it was really noticeable, Tony, that was a poor play on Thielander's part. But we've seen very few guys with the athleticism and the ability to just completely change a game like Green.
Green's a stud, Bino. You're so right. But here's maybe a solution to that. We insist on keeping Thielander and Carter, Arian on the field when we get people in 3rd and long. How about we sub Thielander off, and whoever's not on the field between Boo or McMurray, bring them on for Thielander and go 6 defensive backs, dime coverage when we get them in passing down. So you don't have Thielander out there to get lost in coverage. Because he's good on 1st and 2nd downs. He made a couple tackles for loss in the run game in the second half, played well. But then 3rd downs, they just pick on him. Get him off the field, use one linebacker, and get both of your stars on the field, as in Boo and McMurray, and let's play with 6 DBs when we have you in behind the sticks. But anyway, my guess is I called for Banks to be fired, and I bet he makes me look like a fool this week and has the daggone game of his life and shuts Bama down.
How about
and he's
that?
going to make me look like an idiot.
How about that? I hope you're right. I'm not real confident in it, but I hope you're right. College football is a crazy game. My concern on this Monday with them is I think it's a free roll for the Vols, just like the Georgia game was a free roll for Tennessee. You win this game, you're going to make the playoffs. You lose this game, you're going to have to fight like hell to get into the playoffs. And any result, if you lose this game, is possible. You can get in at 10-2. You can still go 8-4 though, because this is outside of Kentucky and that New Mexico State team. Our Machi tailgate, and we need your tickets. Machi Brook wants me to remind you. They've got, and they're just such a wonderful program, a mentoring program. If you got 4 hours a month and you're in the area and you can help them, they mentor children and foster mentorship with children. One or both parents are incarcerated. Many of the children that will come to this tailgate have never been on UT's campus. A few of them have been to past tailgate, but they so look forward to it. They've got, a lot of these kids have really, really, really rough upbringings, and this is a red letter day in their lives, and you make it possible. And when I say you, I mean Vol Nation. I mean some of the great businesses in our area. Calhoun's donating, I don't know, a couple $3,000 worth of food. Our friends down in Nashville, our two benefactors who for years and years and years have bought this tailgate spot for us over there in Circle Park so these kids can have just an absolute 5-star experience. My friends at Alumni Hall, and shout out to Beth Parks, who pulls back stuff for us all year for those kids and the looks on their faces. And then the folks from our audience, like the Julie Macks of the world, that come out of the audience and volunteer and serve at this thing. And I just walk around and shake people's hands and act like I've done something, when really we're doing nothing. But it's an amazing, amazing thing. So all we ask of you is your tickets. Look, you don't need to go to that New Mexico. What is it, New Mexico State, Bri? Is that who they're playing? These directional games?
Yeah, that's who that's it this year.
I mean, New Mexico State's liable to put, at this point, they're liable to put 35 up on us. Fab Five Freddy had one of the greatest. Bina, do I want to use the line on the air or just leave it alone? I better leave that one alone. As we continue with more on the other side, Fat Five Freddy, you know what I'm talking about. You're a simpleton. More phone calls after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. We're going to monitor Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
TB back with you as we are in hour number 2. It's an incredible time to be alive and well. Utterly amazing. The playbook with William Pattison coming up. I'll tell you what's not coming up is Josh Heupel's press conference, because people tell me they like us staying here and taking calls on Monday. I've gotten several people reach out. So if you're seeking that, we will monitor for the various folks that are covering it, but we will not be taking it today because we're just not going to learn anything. I mean, I would not expect him nor DeBoer to get too far into the status of some of these players. What do you think, Beanstar? Agree or disagree?
No, they're absolutely not going to. I think Josh has already done it 2 or 3 times this year. Wait till Wednesday. The report will be out on Wednesday. So
yeah, the days of these guys sharing things with you at press conferences. Now, I think it's disrespectful personally with the whole football. What's the word I'm looking for here? Just that whole culture of these coaches and how much power they have. It's not just him. Saban's the guy that started it. We close practice, Anyway, we're not taking the press conference today. We're going to go back to our phones. It's our TLD Logistics phone lines. Coming off just a really interesting week in the league, Tennessee survives and advances. Obviously, they take a step up. The last time they were on the road, they had to survive against an okay Mississippi State team. Not great. Probably a middle-bottom team in the league. Arkansas is a middle-bottom team in the league. Both those teams stretch Tennessee. Again, it's an any given Saturday. It's an any given Saturday deal now. So you take your wins. Everybody's got warts. Everybody's got warts in the league. Alabama is not what they once were. So these teams lay one on top of the other. And it's going to be a crazy, crazy run to the finish here. And is Texas A&M, are they going to win the regular season? Is that going to happen? Are they about to accomplish something at A&M? Back to the phones we go, because in the modern era, they've done pretty much next to nothing. No offense. They've just always found a way. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, welcome in.
Long time no talking.
Hey, what's up, Mariano? Good to hear your voice, man. Old skew.
Old
skew.
Living the life, living the dream life.
Hey, how's your daughter doing?
Hey, both of them are doing great, Tony. Thanks for asking.
Well, performance medicine, babe. I'm performing my best, and she is a sweet gal, and Ben Rogers is good people, and I love when good people find good people, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more pleased with that. Tony, let's talk a little bit about the Auburn-Georgia game, and really, if you want to go back to the Auburn-Oklahoma game.
Yep.
when you have just glaring missed calls, I don't know if you can call them missed calls. I don't know what you call it. What I call it's a lack of integrity in the SEC officiating, or in the SEC itself. Maybe that's what they want. But if you have that, Tony, I mean, it just kills the integrity of the game. Don't you agree?
Mariano, can it be a good scene when your athletic director is chasing officials into a tunnel and getting in their face on the field? Because I don't remember seeing that.
If I was in his position, I'd probably be doing the same thing, because, I mean, when you have everybody, when you have that pylon cam looking straight down the goal line,
exactly right,
and the ball is in the guy's possession, he's over that line.
That's exactly right.
Or at the bare minimum touching that line, and they don't give it to you, then something's up. And then the Oklahoma game goes to the hidden receiver on the sideline, which is a definite no-no.
Well, and everybody knows that you can't do that. As Watson Brown said, there's gamesmanship in that sport. He said, and then there's cheating. He said, what Oklahoma did. This is Watson now, who coached there at one time.
Yeah.
He said on a couple Wednesdays ago, he said, that's in our sport, that's cheating. What Oklahoma did there is cheating.
Yeah.
So.
But here's the thing about it. I'm sure they knew it was, but maybe they were told, "Hey, go ahead and run it. We're not going to call it." I mean, who knows? I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just takes away from my interest of the sport when you don't think it's on the up and up.
Explain
this.
I
don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's the way I feel about it.
No, I think that's a fair thing to say. Mariano, explain this to me. Why, when this league's on the cutting edge of everything, technology, the network, everything, why does the ACC let us listen to their booth and their officials talk? And why do I get the feeling, Bino, that this league will be the last one to do that? Why do I get that feeling, Bino?
You're probably correct in that feeling, Tony. I think this. I don't know about other leagues, but I think this league is overly protective of its officials. And Mariano, if I thought it wasn't on the up and up, I definitely wouldn't enjoy the game as much as I do. And I maybe I'm protecting myself here, but I just believe it's more incompetence than it is in any. Well, I can't bring the word up, but I think it's incompetence rather than just out and out cheating.
Bino,
well, I mean, we like Tennessee. We have the lead official. They were talking about him that was coming in, James Carter, who was the white hat on Saturday.
Yep.
He was in the league for the last 2 years, but they didn't think he was good enough. And so they cut him loose, and now he's back in the SEC. So I don't know if it's incompetence, but for at least for me, it takes away my enjoyment of the game.
Well, let me ask you this,
if
Mariano.
I don't feel it's on the up and up, if it's and there's absolutely, Bino, you're exactly right. There's absolutely no transparency with the SEC office, none.
But Mariano,
it's
here's
like you're trying to get into the Kremlin or something, to get anything info on them. So
you could say,
guys, let me say this about our defense, and I'll move on.
Am I not talking? Hang on, Mariano. Let me make one point here. Thank you. Here's one thing about the league that I don't understand. How do they let Kirby Smart come out there in the third quarter and do his fake timeout, Bino, and stop the play, but then they give him his timeout back? How do you do that? I want you guys to tell me that.
Their time.
Are you not hearing me, Mariano?
Yeah, I hear you. I got you now.
How do they let Kirby Smart do his fake timeout?
I absolutely know.
That's
no idea,
wrestling.
Tony.
Guys, that's wrestling. They let him run on.
And he says he's clapping his hands when he's calling a timeout. I mean, let me say this about our defense. When we lost last year, we lost Big E and Big O and Omar Norman Lott off the interior guys. And really, if you look at our tackles, they're nothing more than glorified defensive ends. I mean, strong side defensive ends, with the exception probably of Moy. And you have Bryson Eason, who's came out of high school as a linebacker. He was a middle linebacker for Whitehaven. So I'm not sure that, we have guys who can penetrate, but I'm not sure, like me and a buddy of mine were talking about yesterday, we don't have any guys who are anchors. In other words, we don't have, I hate to use the term, but it's just telling the truth, we don't have enough butts in there. We have guys who can get up the field, But when they do, it's either feast or famine. They get up the field, and if they get, shielded just a little bit, it's just like somebody running a draw play because we're so far up the field. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's interesting, right? Because Alabama, they can't run the ball the way Arkansas can. So maybe you're getting a really good opponent this week, Mariano. They've struggled at the line of scrimmage.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's
no
an
doubt,
interesting
Tony.
point,
Now,
Mariano, that I haven't thought a whole lot
I don't
about.
think they addressed that in the portal when they lost those three big guys inside.
No, they didn't. No, they did not address that.
And it's coming back to sort of bottom, I think.
Sure it is.
Anyway, we'll see what happens Saturday. I mean, we got a chance. Bama's not – hey, if Florida State can beat you, Bama's can be beat. So they just have to go down there, and they have to play a clean game and, hopefully, win the turnover battle again and get the quarterback off his pins.
Thank you, brother. The other thing about that game the other night, and Bino, you make your point about Tennessee's line, that was in Auburn's building. Now, I want you to think about this. Josh Heupel can't get a call in his building. Now, is that just incompetence with the officials? Are they playing favorites? Are there certain coaches they just don't like? These guys all know each other. I mean, I would think that these officials all text each other. I think that's a fair and safe assumption. These guys all know each other. Briny Boy, watch Twitter for me. Go back. Go back to phones. Go ahead.
I know that I wanted to make a point about Alabama. I know they're unbeaten at home, but South Carolina nearly got them last year. So I don't think it's hopeless. It's going to be hard to beat them down there, but I don't think it's totally hopeless.
No. Heck no. No. Bino, the point you were going to make, go ahead, about our defensive line.
No, it's an interesting point that Mariano brought up that I haven't considered a whole lot, but we probably don't have guys that just clog up the middle the way that we did last year. Got a really athletic defensive line, productive defensive line, but yeah, he's right. They probably teams are probably getting to that second level in the middle of our line a little easier than they did last year.
And we'll go back to our phones, 865-200-5402. The thing that gets me about this whole coach and
oh boy,
what?
Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, and Molly McGrath are calling the game Saturday.
I love Sean McDonough. I'll take
Greg
him.
McElroy, though.
That's all right. Who cares? I like Sean McDonough. He does a nice job.
I do too. I really like McDonough.
He does an excellent job, in fact. In fact, he's excellent at everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
865-200-5402. Let's go to our calls and get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone lines. You're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, it's Jason in Florida.
Hey, Jason. Where in Florida are you?
And I'm actually on 30A here, surrounded by all these Florida State fans. That's why I wanted to call you. I'm just curious, why are we not having the conversation regarding Mike Norvell in Florida State? He's lost 3 in a row. I think he's lost 9 straight ACC games. What are your thoughts about Florida State opening up?
I don't know. The problem with Florida State is, from my perspective, just talking to people in the sport, they don't have money. So they're not a big player, which is a weird thing to say because in the illegal days, they were a big player in recruiting. But they just don't have money. So are they going to be willing to pay him to go away? See, that's the thing about Penn State. Penn State wrote a check for how much, guys? North of $50 million.
I think it's 50.
Yeah,
that's $49 million.
Yeah, that's 49. Okay, that's
obviously
that's a lot of chatter.
I don't know. Norvell was 13-0 2 years ago, but Penn State was in the playoffs last year and then the national semifinals. So obviously one of those didn't hold any weight at all.
That's right. And that's the thing. The point I was just getting ready to get to about this Banks guy. Last year, everybody was wanting to give him a raise and praise him. You know why? He had players. You know what they don't have this year? Players. They got guys hurt, and the guys behind them, they either have they have some inexperienced kids that are too young to play, and then they don't have a lot of middle. And that's what happens in the portal era when you get injuries. But all of a sudden, Banks can't coach. And people were telling me on our Garzaloff fifth quarter fan reaction, he needs to be fired. Last year, you guys were loving him and praising him. Which one is it? 2 years ago, Norvell was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Last year, he was lost in space. And this year, he's got an average to bad football team, right? Is Florida State not done losing yet, are they?
I don't think so. I really don't know their schedule, Tony. I don't pay much attention to them or ACC. I'm just surrounded by these guys. But I can tell you this. I have some friends here in the area that didn't even bother to watch the game. That's why I was thinking maybe why is Norvell getting a hang on? These other coaches are out the door.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a friend that lives in Tallahassee, and he tells me that that when you listen to Florida State call-in show, they'll call in and ask what time the game starts Saturday night. He said that's the kind of calls you get. He said, you know.
Hey, Tony, one other thing. I noticed in the AP poll that Oregon still got like 4 first-place votes. Why are they getting votes and a team like Alabama's not? I mean, look at their loss. I mean, they just lost, and then they went to overtime with Penn State, who lost their coach.
You know, that's why the polls have never meant less. They just don't mean anything. I remember earlier in the year, Indiana was like in the 20s, and they played Illinois that was number 8, and we know how that thing turned out. I mean, the polls just mean so little right now, and they have no bearing on anything with the playoffs. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
Well, Tony, thanks for taking my call. I tell you,
you.
I'm excited for this weekend. I think we've got a fighting chance.
Sure.
I think some of the Bama fans probably, or some of the Bama team members will probably look at our score and think, we're not that great. And look, it's always a psychological game in college. You know it. So I'm excited. I'm pumped for this weekend.
Thank you, my brother. I linked Bino today to electric football in the blog because that's what our defense at times looks like, electric football. I linked to it. You can go click on it. Those of you that hear when I say electric football, if you go into the blog today, I'm answering the Orange Throat because he had some really good points today. And Tennessee's safeties, and I'm not picking at those guys. They're just not very good. And one guy in particular. And then there's a linebacker in particular who just struggles. And then they stick Boo Carter out there at times, and he looks like electric football. And so the good thing is you're playing a team this week. While you've had trouble with the run at the line of scrimmage at times, they can't run the ball. And at times, they struggle pass protecting. The only problem is, as the week goes on, this Simpson kid, and Bino's right, he's a great story in college football. He hung on for 4 years or 3 years and waited his turn. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody does that anymore. The guy went out in his first game and had an embarrassing performance, and he's been pretty good since, to almost very good. He's playing at a really high level right now. So, back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You are on our Monday edition. Hi.
Hey, Tony, this is Taylor from Chattanooga.
Hey, T, welcome in.
Hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the incident with Joey Aguilar in the game with the coach comm. I was a part of an FCS staff about 4 years ago, and I'll tell you this: those coaches comm they're supposed to be about 6 feet away from the player's box. I wasn't real sure with how that lined up, but those things are so heavy they have to be controlled by a pallet jack, a motorized pallet jack. We're lucky that it didn't fall on Joey when he hit it. I think with the placement of the box, it comes down to where the plug-ins are on the sidelines. A lot of times the box can be put towards the end of the field, or really it just comes down to where the plug-ins are at Neyland. So pretty dangerous situation, and I know those things are extremely heavy, and there's all kinds of cables and everything that run through there, but Joey's pretty fortunate that didn't hurt him any worse than it did.
So I mentioned on the Garzaloff fifth quarter fan reaction the other day, my reply was, first of all, he hit the thing with his head, It was an extremely hard blow. It was concerning to see that, but it was also disconcerting to see that looked closer to the playing surface than they usually are. Yes or no? Is that your view as well?
Yeah. Usually they're placed behind the players' benches.
Thank
on
you.
the sidelines. That box was in front of the bench. So, I don't know if that has to do where the plugins were on the sidelines, because there's antennas and cables that run all through there, and you need multiple plugins. And again, I'm not sure where that's located there at Neyland, but it did look extremely close and out of spot for where they normally are. So, he could have hit it a little harder and knocked out Arkansas's communication. That would have been a big deal. But those things are that's the way they communicate with the coaches up in the press box. And it looked definitely out of place. But I also want to make a point too about the previous caller, the caller before. I'm with him. Tennessee's interior D line is just they're not as big as they used to be. And over these past few games, we've seen a lot of guys just getting pushed back to the second level, and teams have had a tremendous success running the football interior between the guard and the tackle against Tennessee. And, for a guy like Rodney Garner, it's pretty uncommon to see D linemen that, not as beefy as they usually are. So hopefully they can figure something out. That's why you're seeing a lot of pressure by Tennessee, because if they don't land on those pressures, they're going to get diced up and they're going to get run on the whole game. So hopefully they can get that taken care of.
Well, it's a great point, and I don't know what you do. Obviously, they got a key player back in Hobbs who was down grabbing something during the game, and we all sort of held our breath. There were a couple hold-your-breath moments in the game. Hobbs going down, and we're holding our breath. Bino, I don't know about you, man, but when Aguilar went down, I was like, geez Louise, man, please get up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Tony. And I thought that Deshaun was hurt worse than apparently he is based on his initial reaction. He kind of banged his fist on the turf like you see guys when they know that when they're seriously injured. But apparently he's escaped the serious injury. But that was extremely scary when Joey went down, because we just don't know what we have behind him at all. So a couple of quick things, Tony, that have been brought up.
Yep.
One, I agree with you on Banks. I'm not the biggest Banks fan, but I think it's probably an overreaction to be calling for him to be fired 1 year after he had a defense that basically was the reason that we went to the playoffs. And it appears to me that he's made with Inge especially, that he's made some good coaching hires, or they have made some good coaching hires on that side of the ball, and they're recruiting extremely well on that side of the ball. So, you would hope some of these holes that we see right now and some of the depth issues that we see right now are not going to be quite as critical going forward.
And that's really well put. And here's the thing. Each year, you're going to have guys jump in the portal you're not expecting. The kid that left from Miami, which we've talked about frequently on here, Tennessee calculated wrong. The portal's going to give and it's going to take. And these teams are all incomplete. It's up to you to exploit that other team's incompletedness like they're going to exploit yours. Can Alabama, because Miller got hammered at the end of that game, and you hate seeing a kid get hit like that. He looked like, I'm not a doctor, but did not look good. If he can't go this week, can Alabama exploit Tennessee at the line of scrimmage the way some of these teams have? And then you start thinking about, look at the Oklahoma thing. Oklahoma had, and Throat's right to point this out in the blog today. Check out the blog at tclub.team. It's a great way to start your Tennessee day, your sports day. We're going to put stuff in there you're not going to see elsewhere. You're just not. And it's pretty damn good. That was irresponsible playing that kid the other day. It was dumb. First of all, it's irresponsible to put a kid on the field that can't play. A kid couldn't throw the ball, couldn't grab the ball. It's one thing if it's your non-throwing hand. And I'm sure the kid says, hey, I want to play. And you got to give that kid credit. He's a gamer. You get no argument from me there. The thing you could have done, though, is if you leave him on the sidelines for a couple weeks and give him a couple more weeks to heal, maybe before you play Tennessee, you can curry favor with the playoff people if you can win some games down the stretch and say, hey, look at us over here. We're 9-3. But you know what? We played a really hard schedule, and we were without our quarterback during that stretch. Now you don't have an argument. I don't, for the life of me, understand what they were doing Saturday when you were trying to watch that kid trying to function out there. Because that kid could not function on that field. So, let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402 is our number. Before we go back, I want to remind you, we will have another Tennessee Hardwood Report presented by our friends at We Ship Floors. And they also bring us the Bring the Wood segment each week. The wood this week was brought by Arian Carter, who forced a fumble. And who else, Bri, had a hard hit in that football game that forced a fumble? There was another one out of our secondary. But we brought the wood. We brought the wood.
The kid from the Redden kid?
We brought
the Ross kid?
It was Ross. Thank
Ross.
you.
Also, Heupel says Deshaun Bishop will be ready to go in this one. That's one injury report.
All right. That's great news. That's great news.
Feels like Deshaun Bishop will be ready to go in this one, was the exact quote.
Feels like 98. Contractors and homeowners, listen up. We Ship Floors is the manufacturer. The prices are insane. I want you to go on their YouTube page, look up We Ship Floors on YouTube, and look up the video that has Alan using a piece of lead and beating a high-end floor up. And then he takes that same piece of lead and starts hammering the super core floor. Guess what? There are no dents on that super core floor. Because Alan's been at it forever, and they've designed this floor, and they do it right out of Johnson City, and it's incredible. And we're proud to be associated with them. They have millions of square feet in stock. WeShipFloors.com. WeShipFloors.com. Free shipping nationwide. They've got a website. You can go there. On the website, they have a room visualizer. You drop in any of their 120 styles of their Supercore floors virtually into your room and order some samples. Order some samples. Free samples. They will send you free samples. WeShipFloors.com. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition.
Hey, Tony, Bino, Ronnie Boy.
Hey, welcome in, Josh. Happy Bama week to you, brother. Happy Bama week.
Yeah, it's rolled around again, Tony. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. I'm since Columbus Day, I kind of have to agree with Colombo. We're going to have to score and score more and score more. But I don't know what we're doing. I mean, why were we rotating centers in that game? We put Satterwhite in there, and both times went 3 and out. I mean, I don't understand this coaching staff. And this Ian's linebacker coach, I don't know where that's a good hire in what universe. This might be the worst linebacker group I've seen in 40-some years of watching Tennessee football. I mean, we got one maybe above-average SEC linebacker, and we've got kids, Tony, walk-on. We've got another kid who may be a FC, he looks like he needs to be playing at ETSU. The kid from Buford actually played better than the other two, 33 or 22, but we've not seen him till the other night.
I've never heard you like this. I've never heard you like this in a Florida week, man. This is weird, Bino, hearing Josh this way, isn't it?
I think Josh
Saturday
just comes
night.
in here with how he feels, regardless of the week. I I think that Rusty was probably right. I think we're putting T. Lander in some bad situations. I do think he's a good run defender for the most part, unless you're out there against Green, who I'm not sure who the last linebacker we had that could run with him was. But you do need to get him off the field in situation and do situational play if they have someone they trust behind him. And I think Carter's a good player, a good, solid football player. And you only use 2 linebackers, so half of our core is good. Got to find the other one.
Yeah, I don't know. We got one running back. We can pretend Star Thomas and Peyton Lewis are good running backs, and we rotating them all the time. For what reason, I have no clue.
All right, let me go back to the center. Let me speak to the center real quick. The kid from Notre Dame has had snap issues. They're not going to talk about this, okay? Again, this is one of these things that people listen to this show for, because I'm going to tell you things, and then if you get one of these people aside that covers a team, they'll say Tony's telling you the truth. The issue with him is he's got a little hitch when he snaps the ball, and the ball's coming out late. Now, Satterwhite, who they wanted, who their optimal line was him starting at center, Pendleton at one of the guards, and then Sanders at a tackle, and then you've got a couple guys you can rotate there and keep yourself fortified as the year goes along. That kid they've gotten from Notre Dame has a little hitch when it comes to snapping the ball. That's led to some of the false start penalties, but it's also led to a couple of plays that should have gone for big yardage, they think, but he's getting the ball back a little later. He's got a little hitch. And again, these are things way above my head.
That makes sense, Tony.
That's why they switch centers. I'm just telling you.
But another thing I don't understand is you've invested all this money in Sanders. He came in early in the game, and the series he did come in, we went straight down the field and scored, and then we took him straight back out again, and we floundered.
Well, and the thing about Star Thomas too, Josh. Everybody has off games, man. You played that sport.
Yeah, Tony, when you play in the SEC,
Josh,
Star Thomas is going to have great games against these also-ran teams.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he's not an SEC running back. The guy's 190 pounds, soaking wet. Peyton Lewis has a magnet on him. He runs straight at defenders.
He was getting
straight at them.
He was getting outside the tackles and very effective in that Georgia game. Come on now. Be fair to the kid.
When you throw him the football outside, but we didn't do that any. But I don't know, Tony. I don't know if you can be good at 2 things at once. I don't know if you can be a great offense and play great defense. I don't know if you can. But I had hoped that Venables would fall on his face and he would get fired. Banks is not a great coordinator. We have recruited horribly outside the defensive line, and it's catching up with us now. We had to spend all our money in the portal on the offensive line because he had recruited horribly. Now we're finally starting to recruit a little better. Well, we don't have no defense. Our defense is horrible. It's horrible. I don't know what to say. No. I hope we win. Hell yeah, I'll be tore all to pieces watching it. But the reality of it is how in the hell are we going to cover those 3 receivers?
Matt had a great line. He said he kept looking for Sal Sinceri to make an appearance after Saturday, because that did feel like Sal Sinceri football. It really did at times out there in watching that game. There was so much wide open space, Bean, on some of those plays. Just wide open space.
Yeah, 500 yards offense.
They went down the field. That first drive, guys. There were a couple plays where we didn't have a defender anywhere in the screen, Josh. Not in the screen. Yeah. I know these guys have good stuff.
We play so big cushions. I know they don't want to give up big plays and kind of bend but don't break stuff. And I don't understand their game plan, but I don't know, man. It is really frustrating. The last 2 weeks, you'd think we'd lost the way I feel. It is. it's hard to watch sometimes. You just want to throw the TV out in the road.
Well, our fans wanted me. Our fans, and look, I'm a fan. They wanted me to sell for Arkansas after that game the other day, Josh, and call it a great win. And look, all these SEC wins are solid wins, and it's good to get them. But man, that was a frustrating game Saturday. I agree with you. Saying and acknowledging that it's not easy winning these SEC games, and you have to take them all.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard seeing this team making a playoff run, Tony, right now, the way it looks.
That's one of the reasons
why. I mean, that could change week to week in this league. You never know. But,
sure.
Right now, I mean, we got so many holes. It's I don't see a quick fix. And I think a lot of teams are in that same boat.
Sure they are.
And you're talking about coaching movement. A lot of people up here in Blacksburg are near. They're hollering for James Franklin. They'd love to see him at Virginia Tech.
Oh, my gosh. What an upgrade he'd be for what they've seen.
Kiffin's going to eventually end up at LSU. It's just a matter of time how they finish. You could see Kelly move on. People pay so much money anymore and invest so much in this stuff nowadays. There's no leeway for these coaches. They're getting paid so much. I mean, hell, there shouldn't be.
No, I mean, it's like the NFL. The NFL stands for not for long. And we got to come up with what the acronym, and thank you, Josh, we got to come up with what the acronym for SEC stands for. But, Josh, here's my challenge to you. It's Alabama week. You got that out of the way now on Monday. I need you on board come Friday when we're down there at Calhoun's. I need a clarion call for the ages. I need you to be full-throatedly practicing party discipline come Friday. It's good. You got that out of the way. You got through today. It's good. I'm asking everybody what they think's going to happen on a Monday. By Friday, I want full wool. I mean, hell, I might even grow some hair by Friday. So we come back on the other side, and I wouldn't go that far after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club teams start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth Only Drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Look, I'm as we welcome you back, and we're going to do a TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. We didn't do any hyper today, but Josh Heupel did say that they fully expect Sean Bishop to go. I just love college football because it's such a sport of overreaction. Here's a thought for you that I didn't realize, but I just texted my brother, and it's true. So Penn State lost 3 games in a row. I just got a text from somebody and said, Tony, do you realize how razor's edge this thing is? Let me share it with you. Penn State came from 2 touchdowns back against Oregon. We were watching that concurrent with doing Garzaloff fifth quarter fan reaction just 2 weeks ago. And they got off the mat and scored 2 touchdowns and got the game to overtime. And then in overtime, Oregon fumbled the football and it went through a Penn State defender's hands. If the defender gets on the ground, they beat UCLA and they win on Saturday. But you know, how crazy is the sport right now? How crazy is the sport, man?
Yeah. It's just a matter, like I told you, Tony, I'm not saying it was the right thing or the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying I'm absolutely stunned that James Franklin is out of a job. And I'm sure up there the thought is, you know, we've tolerated him never really winning the game that we have to win a national championship.
Yeah.
What we're not going to tolerate along with that is getting beat by 2 teams that can't play.
That's right.
Right behind it.
That's right.
And I understand the fans' frustration from that point.
And my Penn State would be, and he said to me, Penn State be number 1 in America right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's fired. And he knows. These guys all know. Like Josh was talking about what we don't have on defense. There's a lot of teams that don't have on defense. A lot of them. And so this whole thing is just nuts. It's a crazy sport. And some of you are really, well, this show should be called Negovals on YouTube, some idiot just said. You're an idiot. I can't help you. Don't listen. Because people are going to react passionately to something they care about. And I encourage passion on both ends of the spectrum. I encourage passion. And if you're passionately positive, be passionately positive. But have a reason to back it up. And if you're passionately negative, you know, be passionately negative, but have a reason to back it up. Just like with Josh, I challenged Josh on a couple points. The reason they were rotating centers is that the Pendleton guys having trouble with snaps. The reason they're rotating on their defense so much is they rotate anyway. And you people are right to point out that they're a little light in the rear on their defensive line compared to past years. But that's college football. Georgia's having a tweener year on their defense. Hey, we let Georgia beat us. We should have made the field goal and beaten them. We had Georgia beat. We didn't manage the game properly at the end, and we had them beat anyway. Kirby Dumb should have been down 17-0 the other night. But they don't call him Kirby Dumb. They call him Kirby Smart because nobody, and I mean nobody, knows how to work the zebras like Kirby Smart. I've never seen anything like it. The timeout that they took away from him, how about last year at Texas, Bino, when he got him to rerun a play or whatever that was? Do you remember? That crazy.
I don't remember the exact situation, but I do remember it was something that was extremely odd.
It was a total work job of him by the officials. And when Kirby Dumb's on the sidelines, it feels like wrestling. It feels like wrestling.
I thought, Tony, I watched that timeout deal. That did look just like an old wrestling manager.
Mm-hmm.
I
was expecting
he was
the official,
obviously calling timeout.
Well, Bino, I was expecting the official to come over and check him for a foreign object and him to turn his back from the ref and put it in his mouth, like the bad guys
these coaches should know how to signal something without making it look like a timeout.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, guys? It's Music City Sam.
Hey, Sammy. Welcome in.
I'm coming with the facts today, the numbers.
There we go.
I'm backing it up.
There we
go.
All
right, so I was curious with Tennessee because we're top in sacks in the SEC now, And obviously our offensive line hasn't given up many. And so I was wondering,
Sammy, we're having trouble hearing you. Bino?
Yeah, Sammy, I don't hold the phone. I don't know what to tell you, but I didn't hear any of that either.
Yeah, Tony, we can't hear these callers very well at all sometimes, especially starting. So go ahead.
Go ahead, Sammy. Go ahead, Sammy. You're my guinea pig. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Tony?
I hear you now, Sammy.
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, Tennessee has created 26 sacks this year and given up 4 on offense. It's a plus 22 differential. That is by far the best of the top 12 teams in the country, by far the best in the SEC. And Alabama's sitting down at -4 differential. 9 sacks taken, 13 sacks given up by their offense. Our trenches are playing at a pretty good level. I know it's not all about sacks, but it's pretty impressive to be top in the nation in that plus-minus differential in the top 12 teams.
Yeah,
Does that surprise
Sammy,
anyone?
I want to go to the defensive thing, and I agree with Tony. I don't know how sustainable this is, but as ugly as this defense is, somehow I've said it 2 or 3 times already this year. To be not very good, they are really, really opportunistic. It's just like Saturday: 5 sacks, 3 takeaways, and then after getting just absolutely gashed for a whole half, somehow they came out in the second half, and all of a sudden Arkansas couldn't run the football. And you take a 17-point lead that winds up winning the game for you. Now, I don't know how sustainable that is, but their production somehow has been a lot better than their numbers.
Yeah, I think that's just college football in this day and age. It seems like a lot of our fans and fans of all teams have this perspective that their team should be like a prime Nick Saban or a prime Kirby Smart when they had every player at every position. And that's just not the case. You know, everything's nuanced. Yeah, I was thinking back on, is Tim Banks more like this year or more like last year? And then I thought back to last year, and when I put it in perspective, we had a fully healthy defensive line.
That's right.
And McCoy and Gibson were healthy the whole year. But we played a lot of terrible offenses. Florida and Alabama at home with 2 guys that couldn't throw the ball. Oklahoma had 5 injured offensive linemen, 5 injured receivers. Then we played 2 awful teams, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Vanderbilt injured at the end of the year, and I'm missing someone, but we didn't play a lot of great offenses. And then when we got to Georgia and Ohio State, they moved the ball up and down the field. So I think this is more of what Tim Banks is. Get gashed for large chunks of the game and then try to come up with opportunistic moments. I really think that's what we're dealing with. And
I think that's
just the Tennessee team we're going to have to watch.
I think that's fair. And I think your assessment, too, of fans is well put. I think at times we think about the sport like it's 5 years ago. Hey, the transfer portal era, the game's not played at the level it once was. It's just not. Even the great teams are not great. They're just not. I mean, if you go back and look at the way teams were power rated, if you put Ohio State of today on the field with one of the late teens, LSU, Alabama, they would get absolutely smoked in those games. Smoked by the power ratings. And you know what? Our eyes are not deceiving us because this is going on all over the sport. So you've got to hide your weaknesses and exploit their weaknesses and survive in advance weekly and somehow figure out a way to come out 10-2 at the end of the year and hope you get a playoff spot.
Yeah, I actually think we match up better next week against Alabama than some of the teams we've played. Because
they can't
they
run.
give up sacks on their offensive line.
Yes, that's right. They don't pass protect.
They don't create sacks.
Yep.
And we don't give them up.
Yep.
The game is still won in the trenches at the end of the day.
But the problem, Sam, is when they roll that quarterback out, and we look like electric football in space, and I want you thinking about this when you're watching the game, that's my big concern because he's very good on the move, very good at keeping his eyes downfield, and that's going to be a struggle for us.
It is, but at least he's not as fast as Taylor Green because, good God, when that guy gets going.
That guy. Thank you, brother. What that guy is still doing at Arkansas, Bino, hey, good on that kid for staying there. And I appreciate you, Sam. It's always good hearing from you. Hey, do me a favor, blog that stuff up. We need to read those numbers that you just shared with us. That's good stuff, Sam. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Sam's pretty optimistic by nature, but callers aren't calling saying, get him off the. Everybody's got passion. Let's just relax here. Don't turn on each other. Everybody's got a little passion here. It's good. And we engender that type of conversation because we're like in a barbershop here. And people are going to fight and argue, but we're all going to be friends at the end of the day. Speaking of friends, the man, William Pattison. The playbook's up next with William Pattison. We're going to stay here and keep talking about it where we are. Hit it, William.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Brian and Bino, you guys are better at this than I am. Kimball Palmer's asking on YouTube, was Ty Simpson a Tennessee football commitment at one time? I don't think so. Do you guys? I don't remember that.
They really tried to get him, I think. And Heupel, I remember he was a little bit upset when they played his father's team that one year and put a late touchdown on him. I think he scored 60-something points on him. So, yeah, they tried to get him. I think he committed to Bama early and never wavered.
Oh, Heupel, Bino, he'll carry a grudge on you, won't he?
like most football coaches, Tony. They've got long memories.
Yep.
And don't like to lose.
Here's the thing that the point Sam was trying to make about Banks, I think is a great one. You know what coaches are? They're as good as the players on the field. There's a reason why the people at the top of these sports, the all-time greats, are habitual recruiters. Pat Summitt was a habitual recruiter. Never quit recruiting. Gino Auriemma in his sport never quits recruiting. Tony Vitello never quits recruiting. Nick Saban was a habitual, never quit recruiting guy. I'll never forget when the Eagles drafted Quinyon Mitchell, and he was free of the shackles of the NCAA and could tell the truth. He said, we tried to pry that kid off Toledo's roster last year. You guys remember when he said that? I mean, it's like they never stop. And he was basically saying, we were tampering with them. We were trying to get that kid. As if to say, I'm never going back into that. I don't care. Who knows? And you know why? Because that's what he was doing. Because if you want to win in that sport, it's kill or be killed, because your team is as good as your talent. Tennessee doesn't have. They don't have players on defense this year, and they had injuries. Of course, you're going to get lit up when you play teams that can play.
I think probably, Tony, last year was the outlier for Banks. I think that's probably as good as we'll ever see his defense perform. But I also think he's in a real difficult spot. I think when Heupel has a quarterback that can run his offense the way he wants it run, I think being a defensive coordinator for him is a difficult task.
No doubt. Well put. And I think this era is hard for fans to wrap their brain around, because it's jarring. I would imagine there are a lot of fan bases that are in Tennessee's shoes right now in the 5-1 category that are mad at their teams today and get mad after close wins. Look at the scores in college football. Look at the Missouri-Alabama game over the weekend, guys. Look at the scores around the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Alabama. They're very good. I think they may be the best team in the SEC. And their conference schedule has obviously been more challenging than ours. But they haven't run away and left anyone in the league. They scored late against Vanderbilt to make that a 2-score game. And their other 2 wins are like ours, narrow 3-point games. Again, against at least one better opponent than we've played.
That's right. Tennessee to this.
Well, I don't expect Alabama to run off and leave.
No.
Yeah, Missouri's
we're be
probably better than both Mississippi State and Arkansas, though.
Oh, they're much better.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
They're much
and
better.
Georgia, not speaking of.
They're a much better team, Brian. Georgia is, by Georgia standards of the past, a mid-football team and was down 17-0 at halftime. To Mariano's point, if the Southeastern Conference is doing their job, that's a 17-0 score. But they let Kirby Smart run onto the field, politic for talking to the officials into a fumble. And you know why Kirby was so desperate to do that? Because Kirby Smart knew, if I don't get this call, my ass is getting ready to get kicked. I'm getting ready to lose this game. Probably 27-3 would have been the score. But he also knew, if I can talk them out of this call, talk them into it or talk them out of it, however way you want to put it, we can hang around in this game because it's a 10-point game, kind of like they did to us. Just sort of hang around, because they believe. And you could see it the other night. Auburn did not believe. Once that call didn't go their way, Bino, we're watching that game in real time, and you could tell it was just a matter of time till Georgia took them over.
Yeah, they basically did nothing after that.
Nothing.
After that turnaround the first half, it looked like 2 completely different teams had taken the field in the second half.
And the thing we all have to admit about college football now is that our preconceived notions, Watson Brown is so right when he says this, because this got his brother, but it's going to get everybody. You're not building the program anymore. You're building teams. So 1 year, Tim Banks is going to look like a world beater at defensive coordinator, and the next year he's going to look like shit. And you know why? And the truth is, somewhere in the middle, he's a pretty good football coach. He's not great. I don't know how many great coordinators there are out there. Penn State paid this guy from Ohio State all this money, and Ohio State said, hold my beer, we'll go get an NFL guy. I'll show you somebody that can really coach. But all those years we praised Knowles. You know why? Because he had incredible players. What happened this year? What happened to him this year at Penn State? You tell me. They never put a spy on Nico. It looked like that looked like, you talk about wrestling, that game. They never even attempted to put a spy on him. You know why? They didn't know he could run like that. And then Nico went out over the weekend and threw for like 50 yards. And somehow UCLA just pummeled Michigan State. You talk about a weird game. College football is a damn weird sport, Pino. And people like us that like to play the ponies each Saturday and gamble a few dollars on it are really warped. Because it is almost like betting on raindrops right now. But we all think we have an edge. It's a fun thing to talk about. I love the passion of our fan base. Bino, you and I both agree, hearing Josh in that much pain today kind of sucks on Florida week, on Bama week.
Oh, yeah, I hate to hear Josh so discouraged.
Discouraged.
I do.
Good word.
Yeah, because that's not who he generally is. So but he's a truthful guy, so that's how he feels. So that's what he
me.
said.
That's me. Like, people were like, why won't you sell for the Arkansas win Saturday? Bino, you heard him. I'm sure you were listening driving back, and I'm going, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but Arkansas is not very good. We had a caller from from Texas, one of those guys I love, and he goes, you're mad at me. I said, I'm not mad at you, but I'm not going to let you act like Arkansas's got a great football team. They don't. I don't know how many SEC games they're going to win. I mean, they're going to outscore some people. Every once in a while win a game. But defensively, they're horrendous. Tennessee did not score a bunch of points here today because Tennessee did not execute on offense. Plainly and simply. Matthews, the ball's thrown to you. It's a touchdown if you keep running your route. Brazel, who's been great this year, he's due a game where he has target 5 times, only catches 1, drops a ball that should have been probably a score. And this Aguilar guy is supposed to be an interception machine in a game like that, where, they're kind of locked down in the middle third of it. He's just taking what the defense is, or what his offense is not giving him at that point. Teams in the game, managing the game. There were 2 points in that game I thought the Vols were going to blow that team out. One was in the first half when they got like a 2.5 score lead, they should have killed them. They should have put their foot on them. And then at the end of the game, they should have put their foot on them. But I guess this Tennessee team, for whatever reason, just doesn't have that gear. And Matt doesn't think we trust our quarterback enough, which I think is an interesting observation, Bino. I'm going to ask Matt if he still shares that opinion after watching the film, because he's going to have a breakdown for us tomorrow. And I love his breakdowns after games. His Tuesday breakdowns are great.
Let me go back 3 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me go back, and I don't know if there was some type of his injury there to Hooker, but when they had that Florida team down 17 points in the fourth quarter, and you thought, well, this is over, and Florida, before you could bat an eye, they were throwing into the end zone in the last play of the game, down 5.
Yep.
I thought there were a couple possessions there where he kind of took his foot off the gas to let them back into that game. So even when he had Hooker to an extent, I don't know that he was approaching the thing any differently with a lead late.
Bring that up tomorrow, Brian. I want to hear Matt Dixon address that. Bino, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Matt knows the intricacies of the game much better than I do. I just felt like the only time that Tennessee had a firm grasp on the football game was after the late Green turnover, when Tennessee punched it in and took a 17-point lead. And at that point, I believe it became more about managing the game than it did scoring another point. That's the first time it had gotten to that point. Like Brian said, Arkansas gets the ball, they drive down, they take 4 or 5 minutes off the clock. They've still got to have 2 scores to win the game. So, I had no issue with the way that Josh Heupel handled the fourth quarter once he got that 17-point lead. None. I thought that was the only way to assure you won the game.
And I don't know. I mean, to Bino's point, is that I don't trust my quarterback. I don't trust my defense. I don't know.
I think he doesn't trust his defense. I think he trusts his quarterback.
And look, I don't know what to tell you, but our defense blows. So if you want to get mad at Josh for calling in today and blowing off steam about it, I'm sorry. I didn't do it. He's right. Our defense at times Saturday, and look, Arkansas's got a nice offense, but they're not that good. They didn't look like that against Notre Dame. They didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. And people were like, well, after the game, they're like, why aren't you I got to celebrate all these wins. But celebrating and selling for are 2 different things. I don't have to sell for something that I don't believe in. You're always going to get with me what I think. That's for some people. It's not for others. It's fine. but I love the passion going both ways. I don't like Sammy, and who I love, telling me to cut off callers. If you want to have a short life on this show, Bino knows me for 30 years. Bino, that's a really quick way to lose my favor. Am I lying, Bino? And I love Sammy. Sammy, I love you. Please don't tell me how to do my show. Please don't. Any of you, please don't do that. I've paid the price to do my show, and I'm going to do it my way. I can promise you that. I'm a man, and I'm 40, damn it.
You're a lot more than that.
Bino, that whole thing with telling me to cut callers off and you need to get, edit and do this. Please explain to people, Bino, that that's not going to work with me.
You'll get somebody cut off. It just won't be the ones that you want.
Yeah. Sammy said to me after the game the other day, Sammy said to me after the game, he said, "You cut me off, bro." I'm like, "Yeah." And I said to him, and I'll do it again. If you tell me how to do my show, I will cut you off. Because I'm going to do the show. That's the one rule. That's the one rule we have here. I'm going to do the show. Especially when you're telling me, well, you got to cut off negative callers. You're letting them talk too much. What, do I let positive callers talk too much? I have people tell me I let positive callers talk too much. You know what I say to them? Get your own damn show. How about that? How about those apples? So this is a two-way conversation here. I have people that say to me, well, you let the sheep talk too much. Hey, listen, shut the hell up. You can pick the phone up and call and be a part of the conversation. Let's go back to the phones. And Saturday's game was a frustrating win. It just was. And again, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't leave that receiver wide open in an end zone where there's 8 guys drop, Bino, and they find a pocket right there in the front of the goal line. I mean, that was bizarre looking, Bino, the way we let that kid catch that ball there.
Yeah, it was, Tony. And that was really, that's down on our end, really, really frustrating. But a lot of this, and I'm probably being overly defensive here, but a lot of that is Taylor Green. That guy
is unbelievable.
I mean, he just finds a way.
Why would he stay with Arkansas? I know they paid him.
Yeah.
Right? One of the halves could have paid him $5 million, Bino, and they would have been justified in doing so. Yes or no?
Yes. Now, he came from Boise State, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't think he had a coach that came with him. I don't think.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Okay. So I don't know what the hold on him is. And I doubt there's going to be any hold on him after this year there, after Pittman's gone, unless he just really likes Petrino. I don't know.
The Kentucky game will kick off at 7:45 Eastern Time, p.m., and the SEC Network will have the telecast.
Alex Rice says, short-term experimental coaching, SEC. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Come up with your own SEC acronym because these coaches, it's going to be like the NFL. In the NFL, if they think you suck, they'll pull the plug on your first year. I don't know what the Titans are doing with their guy, Bino. They were dead to the world yesterday. What are the Titans doing, Bino, with their franchise?
I don't know, Tony, unless they just want for Cam's first year to be as stable as it can be. I have no other reason why they would keep that. I don't think there's any way in the world he's their coach next year. No way. And that's the only reason I can come up with for not pulling the plug on him early.
Back to the phones we go. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Welcome in.
I think Pendleton had an ankle issue. He was having that was the reason they were swapping him out.
Adam Sparks said that was one of the questions in his mailbag this week, Dave, and he did say that that he wasn't 100%.
Right.
Hey, Dave. They've been having trouble with the snaps. That's the reason.
Well, I mean,
you guys can do what you're going to do.
I'm just saying.
Do what you're going to do.
All I said was what Adam Sparks said.
No, I love Adam.
I'm putting out what he said.
They've been having trouble.
He's generally pretty good.
He's very good.
I'll.
They've been having trouble with the snaps.
Okay. All right. You've been having trouble with snaps yourself.
I just think our football coach has lost his nerve. He's not the same coach he was 2 years when he first got here. Maybe he had I don't have anything to lose attitude his first 2 years. I don't know. He just looked like he's hanging on pretty tight. He blew the Georgia game, no doubt. He almost his clock management in Mississippi State game was just not minute 38, 3 timeouts, 2 timeouts, whatever he had. Didn't do anything with the ball at the end of the game. Could have easily cost us the game. And then yesterday, we should have scored. Our offense was off. I mean, it's just not. He just pulled back the reins. You got to keep putting. If we score at least one more touchdown, we could at least score a couple more. If we put 50, we should have put 50-something points on that team easily Saturday. And it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if they scored 31. It should never come down to a one-possession game. I put that on Josh Heupel. You don't ever put your defense. You don't. When you're that good, if you're good offensively, you just keep scoring. You don't ever put the game in your defense's hand. He put the game in the defense's hand at the end of the game. And
actually, Dave, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, because they never got the ball back. We got a first down at the end of the game.
Well, okay.
Dave, I don't.
He didn't put it in his defense's hands, Dave. He didn't. He coached.
I don't think he did either. I think there have been several times when you can question Josh's clock management, and I don't understand for the life of me why he collects timeouts like they're green stamps and never uses them. I don't understand that for the life of me, but I have no problem, none, with how he handled the end of the Arkansas game. I don't care if we win it by 24. That's no different than making sure you win it by 3, which is what he did.
Do you have a problem with the way he handled the end of the Georgia game and Mississippi State game?
I have a problem with the way he handled the end of the Mississippi State game. I thought he put us right in position that we needed to be to win the Georgia game, and our kicker missed the kick.
Well,
I do have a problem with the way he handled the end of the Mississippi State game. The last possession of regulation, I believe. Yeah, I have a problem with that.
Jeff, that game should never come down to a field goal, the Georgia game. You put in your – it's just like this, and I hate this. You're got 2 minutes to go, whatever the game, and you're at midfield, and your coach is – you need to go score a touchdown. And your coach is playing for a field goal, and you're putting the game in the hands of a kicker, and those guys are so screwed. You never know when they're going to shank one. You got to go. You got to. He's just not coaching the same way he did his first 2 years. He's just not.
Dave, he doesn't have the offense he had the first couple of years.
Well, right now we're leading the country in offense and in scoring.
Dave, they're not as dynamic as they were. Come on. You know that.
Okay. it's still the best side. It's still the best side of the team you have.
Oh,
it's your offense.
It's definitely the best side of the team you have. The problem is, though, that they're not as reliable for the big play and knocking people out. That team just had a knockout. The team from 3 years ago just had a way of overwhelming you. You stepped on the field with them, and they overwhelmed you. This team does not have that gear, even though the offensive numbers are good.
Well, let's get to the defense.
And
we're missing we're 3 tackles are off that team from last year.
Yep.
Amari Thomas, the Elijah, the big guy, number 10.
Yes, Simmons, yes.
And Omar Lott.
Yes, all are in the NFL.
And I don't understand for the life of me why this coaching staff and Josh Heupel didn't go out and spend the money to get him a couple tackles.
Oh, I'm sure they tried. I mean, I can circle back on some of the guys they got involved with if you'd like me to. I'm sure they tried, but the problem is,
the guy they brought in, who's that number? That one guy, he's terrible. He's not even seeing the field.
Hey, Dave. Everybody misevaluates in the portal. Everybody misses.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I think it's going to be ugly Saturday, and we'll score some.
Yeah.
But we won't be able to stop the rain that's coming down from them. It's just I don't know. Maybe we get lucky and we get pressure on the quarterback. I don't know, but I still think it's a 4-loss football team.
Thank you, Dave. It could happen. I mean, these guys could go 11-1 or 8-4, and nothing's going to surprise me. Personally, I haven't predicted them to make the playoffs because I don't think we have enough players on defense. I've told Bino that off the air. That's the whole reason why. And I can't lean into a microphone and say, hey, this team's going to a playoff. They're going to have to prove that to me. And Saturday is a great opportunity. At Florida is a great opportunity. Against Oklahoma is a great opportunity. The Kentucky night game is a great opportunity. The Vanderbilt game is a great opportunity. Because none of those are givens. Hey, Bino, the Georgia game or the Kentucky game at night, that's not a given, is it? When you go up there and play? Even as bad as they are.
I mean, Tony, again, they're not good. And our history is great in that game.
Yep.
But they selected the best spot on the entire schedule to land.
Yes.
And that's between Alabama and Oklahoma. You couldn't have found a better spot on our schedule to land. So I'm not ruling anything out. And no, when I look at this team right now, Tony, I do not believe we're good enough defensively to be a playoff team. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I would guess that this team will probably fall one game short of making the playoffs.
And so from my perspective, it's going to be really hard to get on here and hammer these guys like they've got players because they just don't. Now, whose fault is it they don't have players on defense? Well, it's a combination of things. I mean, obviously they knew that McCoy coming back's a long shot. That's why they got Colton Hood. But you couldn't have anticipated Ricky Gibson having that oblique injury. He's not coming back this year. You couldn't have anticipated that. You couldn't have anticipated Boo Carter going wacko in the summer and disappearing for 5 weeks. And we still have people that call and want to play him on offense. In what freaking world? He can't even play defense. And you know why he can't play defense? He wasn't here. That's not a Heupel thing. Am I wrong about that, Bino? Is that a Heupel thing? Heupel didn't do that.
No. I was one who hoped that he would play offense before he disappeared in the winter. They played him some there in the spring, or he disappeared in the summer basically.
Yep.
They played him some there in the spring.
Yep.
And him not playing offense, I don't put on Heupel at all. I put that on Booth for not doing what you have to do.
Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402. My friends at VIP Play, wow. I'm just going to keep getting up and having a fun time playing the ponies. Few bucks here, a few bucks there, nothing like major. And that's a fun thing with the world we live in, the freedoms we have. And our friends at VIP Play, you bet $20, you receive $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code is TNTony. 200 leagues, live always. Bri, who do you like in the rematch? My Flyers got ripped off in overtime the other night. I know there were 2 NFL games and a baseball playoff game. Who cares about that crap? The Flyers in Carolina tonight, Bri. Who you got in that one?
Whoever scores the most goals. That's who I got.
That's the kind of insight you get on this show. You're not going to get that anywhere else. The kind of hockey talk, the level of hockey talk. Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, and options. I might do me a 3-legger tonight and bet against the Dodgers. Am I going to win, lose, or draw, Bino, betting against the Dodgers tonight with the Brewers?
I hope you're going to win, Tony. My fear is the Dodgers are going to win that series, but I'm pulling big time for the Brew Crew. Hope I'm wrong.
Gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. So last night, Springer hits a home run. It looks like it's off to the races. The big dumper gets thrown out at home. Early in that game, it looks like it's off to the races. Don't sleep on the dumper, baby. Dumper hit a big home run late in that game. Be really neat to see Seattle play for a World Series, Bino, wouldn't it? Our buddy Jerry Colquitt up there.
Absolutely love it. See Seattle and the Brew Crew play in the World Series. I know that's not what the networks want, but that's what I want.
The Dodgers can straight up suck it, as far as I'm concerned. They're not the better team that won the series against the Phillies. They didn't play well. Phillies, this Rob Thompson guy is just a. You people get on this Heupel guy for his management. I'll show you a shitty manager. It ain't Josh Heupel.
Tony, I think a real interesting study going forward is going to be the proper way to use the portal.
Yep.
We've had there. I just don't know what the proper way to do it is, but whoever can get the cheat code on that, is always going to be a perennial playoff team.
Well, Brent on YouTube, and it's at Tony Basilio Show on YouTube. The YouTube channel is really growing. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are going to do some content stuff, like some other extra content as we go. My back sort of cooperates. I'm seeing my back doctor today. It sort of cooperates and it sort of doesn't. So Brent says, just another outstanding show. Thank you for all the content. To which I replied, Brent, you have great taste. Thank you, Brent. Back to the phones we go. Bino, do you like when you're listening on the way home and I'm real snappy with people? You can tell when I'm in one of those snappy moods.
I like it when I'm not on the air.
I mean, we're just real, right? Like you've snapped on me, I've snapped on you.
I know it.
And we're still buddies. We're still buddies.
Yeah.
People are like, you don't like me. You're snap. I'm like, no. It's not that I don't like you. It's just that I'm snappy. And you're going to get snapped at because I'm snappy. And by the way, I'm a human being, which means I can act like a dick. And often do. Often do. I got a little Kurt Signetti in me somewhere, Bino.
Well, you handle a lot better than he does, Tom.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted you to say either you handle it a whole lot better or you're better than that. But maybe I'm not. Yeah. Maybe I really am just a total prick. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
My friends and compatriots, it's Bama week. We got to start growing some wool. I'm getting woolly. Starting tomorrow, we got to get over this.
Right on, W. Lynn.
That is the truth.
I mean, we're 5-1, guys. That's exactly where I want to be. I'm gonna continue to kind of compare this team to the Sugar Vols. In 1985, after 6 games, we were 3-1-2. Now, if you count that Florida loss as a win, the way it should be, a forfeit, we were 4-0-2. Think about it. This year, if we still had no overtimes and had the good old-fashioned tie, we would be 4-0-2 right now. What do you think, guys?
C said something very interesting the other day on our post-game show. A young man you've taken under wings, W. Lynn. He said the more he's thought about it when he watches college football silly overtime they have with these kickoffs they have now, this 1 point, whatever they're doing, why not just have ties and let them sort it out at the end of the year? The Cowboys had a tie with Green Bay earlier in the year. Nobody gets hurt, Bino, when you have a tie in the NFL. Why not have ties, Bino? That's a playoff sport, and they have ties, Bino.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting conversation. I never was crazy about ties, but I'm also not crazy about college overtime either.
And the thing that he said that I like is that you could really have a great discussion point as to whether or not that coach should have gone for 2 there to end the game and win the game or take the tie. These playoff teams would all have decisions to make. W. Lynn, I think it would make the game better, personally.
I think it does, too.
I tell you what all of us that remember ties do remember, though, W. Lynn, and that's it. It wasn't a real tie. Those 2 ties we had that year, UCLA felt like a loss because they came from 16 points back, scored twice, and scored 2 2-point conversions to ties.
Every tie
Georgia Tech felt like a win because we hit like a 60-yard field goal to tie that one.
A bomb.
Every tie I remember felt like a loss because they gave it up late. Maybe the Colorado one was an exception.
You know why? Brian? Because you're a negative ninny.
But, it was funny. After we tied Georgia Tech and we were 3-1-2, this is a good Haywood Harris story. This might be the only time I bested Haywood Harris in anything in the 11 years I worked for the great man. We came into the office on Sunday to get stats, and he goes, well, we played 6 games, and we've only won 3 of them. I don't think we'll be right. He goes, what do you think, Lynn? I said, well, Haywood, we've played 6 games, and we've only lost 1 of them. I think we'll be right. And lo and behold, we were 19th, and there was only a top 20 then. We were 19th in the next poll. We barely slipped in. And that's what's great about ties. People look at them in different ways.
Yep. That's why I love it. That's why I think the tie would add, just like a 12-team playoff makes the sport better.
A lot of coaches would play to win games instead. I think back when there was ties, I think the coaches actually were okay and more conservative and played for ties. You didn't have the type of offenses then you do now.
Yep. Games changed so much.
You tried to win the game back then. Now people play for overtime, which really disgusts me.
You know what else, though? You know what else that teams don't do that Coach Majors wouldn't recognize, Bino? When it's 4th and short, you're going all the time now. There's no more punting the ball away on 4th and short. You get around midfield, everybody goes in the modern game. Everybody goes in the modern game now. Everybody.
Yep. That's right.
And back then, it would be this close, and one of the linebackers would stand up and do that. It looked like never mind. But they would show you a couple inches.
But back then we counted on defense a lot more. This you all discussed it. College football, there's people gonna score. There ain't no 85 Bears team out there anymore in football. Now Ohio State's great. But it's just not that way. I call our defense the stifle and steal defense. We're betting that if we make you go 10 to 15 plays, we're going to stifle you, and we're either going to force a penalty, get a sack, and make you punt, or we're going to get a turnover, or we're going to hold you to a field goal. And that's our defense. With the material we have on defense, that's what we have to do to teams. And there ain't going to be no Reggie White or Doug Atkins show up out there next week ready to take over for somebody. So
W. Lynn,
so far, we're 5-1, guys.
You're the man, buddy. I think here's what we're doing every day at the end of every show this week. We're going to end every show with the Dale Jones call. Dale Jones, Josh call. Dale Jones on Bama. Bino, do you remember it?
I do, Tony.
When we played Josh's call for Dale Jones.
Beautiful. I think that's the right thing to do.
Every day this week, you're going to hear that. Every day. At the end of our show. It's going to be like the national anthem before your sign-on of your local TV station back in the day. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Orange Blood.
Hey, buddy. Welcome to the TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hey, I think Kirby Smart for his next job would be perfect for either a lobbyist for Philip Morris or one of them WCW tag team wrestler teammates that distracts the ref while somebody else is getting the chair out or the brass knuckles.
Yes, a great heel manager. I mean, they did everything the other day, but go over there and him turn around and put the foreign object in his mouth and stick his hands in the air for the ref to search him, for the linesman over there to search his pockets. I mean,
exactly.
How he got away with that is really disgusting, man. Really disgusting.
I mean, I'm surprised he's not chafed on Mondays after riding those refs all weekend.
Amen, brother.
So I got a couple real quick questions. One might be something you might want to talk about later, but real quick. First of all, I noticed second half Dave Neal called out. I didn't know he was on the field until Dave Neal called him out, but we put a freshman linebacker in, that Perlotte guy, or Perlotte.
Yes.
Looked up, I looked up his 40 time. I don't know how official that is, but it's like 4.5, right there with Arian Carter.
Yeah.
And he showed some hustle, and he was fresh, fresh legs second half on the team that's getting just, gashed right, left, up the middle. So maybe we'll start seeing a little bit of that, but I think it's probably more like 70-30 coaching / players, just getting either coaching them discipline and technique or just getting them in the right position, the right assignment. So hopefully we're halfway through the season. I don't know how much more you can really get better. I don't know.
Introduce some kids, though. You're right about that. I mean, why not? If your defense and your linebacking play is that bad, why not introduce some kids? What's the point?
They're not going to do any worse.
Yeah, you can't do any worse. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's fast. He's a fast kid.
Sure.
It seems like he knows how to play.
Sure.
So let's keep him in the rotation.
Why not?
Let's rotate some linebackers. Yeah.
Why not?
Second question is, I saw Jim Chaney is our offensive analyst. I don't know how much in depth or influence he has on offensive strategy or just whatever an analyst does. How Ohio State did that with Chip Kelly for defense. Was it defense last year? You had some. That's basically like having two head coaches on the team worth of experience.
But Kelly was there. Kelly was their OC, and he was there. Jim Chaney's doing it.
Yeah.
Chaney's doing it remotely.
Remote, like he's zooming in on the weekdays.
Yeah, that kind of thing. He's just kind of
saying.
He's consulting.
Here's what I noticed.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what value is he adding to what Heupel is currently doing with who he's got?
No idea.
Are they collaborating on?
No idea.
Like just a second opinion. This is what I see, and Josh says, "Okay, I'll take that advice, or I won't."
Probably a good guess. A good guess. Yeah.
Because Chaney was our OC back when we had Bray, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, that's more than
Chaney was here a couple times.
Yeah,
Chaney was here a couple times. Yes.
Yeah, and I think he was quarterback's coach at Arkansas, maybe for us too, a couple times. So
he coached under every coach post Fulmer except Butch Jones.
So he's kind of had in and out stints with us.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Oh, well, hopefully we'll, that'll get a little extra 10% squeeze here and there to get us over. I think Heupel, I don't mind going for running the clock with 17-point lead. It's a pretty wise decision, but when you know what kind of defense deficiencies you have, you probably want to go for at least one extra touchdown.
I mean, in a way, I agree with you. I go back to what Matt said. Maybe you just don't trust. You trust your quarterback, but you really don't. Because here's the last thing you want to do is turn that ball over on Saturday. You turn that ball over, and all of a sudden you're going to take – because you know that offense, when they get the ball back, the idea is to play keep away at that point. Shorten the game and play keep away. Because the more your defense is exposed to that really special player from Arkansas – and let's say this, Bino, that Washington kid, you and I were laughing at him and the trash he talked. I give that kid a lot of credit. He talked trash and went in there and ran for like 150 yards. He cashed it. Yeah, he cashed it.
Yes, absolutely.
And he was a damn good player. And that other back was a damn good player. So they, Arkansas had some talent on offense.
Yeah. I think once we get out of this quarterbacks that run the ball, you've got one eye on him. There's more than one guy on the field that should be having an eye on him, as dangerous as that kid was. So changing from him to Sanders, hopefully will free us up. But that's all I got, Tony. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. Good talking to you. 865-200-5402. The first AP poll is out in basketball. Bri, where are the Vols ranked? Take a stab
Number
at
18.
It.
Number 18.
That's more than a stab at it. Brian's right on the money. How does he know these things, Bino?
I saw it earlier.
Oh.
They're picked to finish third in the SEC by the media behind Florida and Kentucky.
On your TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, back to the phones we go, presented by our friends at TLD Logistics, online at tldlogistics.com. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Bobby.
Hey,
how are you?
welcome in.
Hey, thanks for being there so late today. I know you were up real late the other night. Can't imagine how you feel. SEC, surely exiting commensurately. Thoughts?
Too many big words.
Too many big words. Sorry.
Well, it's just too intel. Like, here's one. Smart's extreme cheating. Smart's extreme clapping.
That's really good.
You're using commensurate and whatnot. Oh, my
gosh.
I'm looking for something I can put on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to beat Brian to the punch here, I think. They just listed the Kentucky game as yet another night game for Tennessee on the road.
Mm-mm.
Are the SEC powers that be just going to shit all over UT?
Mm-hmm.
For all, we're not going to get a night game this year, are we? We're not going to get Oklahoma at night. They're going to slap it at 3:30, aren't they?
They are going dark mode for Oklahoma, whether it's day or night. I already know that. So
I heard that too. But it's obscene. It's like, let's give Tennessee the toughest road, even though we're a legitimate playoff hope for them. I just don't get it. We were one of 3 teams to make the playoffs. Am I wrong? Last year, the SEC only had 3 teams in the playoffs.
They treat our coach like he's Derek Dooley over there with a pewter dog and sitting on a park bench. What was the thing Dooley sat on, guys? It wasn't a park bench. What was that? During a game,
that's a stool, like a sitting stool.
Oh my gosh, the Stooley, Derek Stooley.
Yeah.
For multitude, that multitude phrase pays twice.
Yes.
Josh I expounded on that on Saturday. I don't want to waste it, but Josh just won't stand up for himself. He's being bullied. Just stand up for yourself and throw a punch. Verbal punching. Do it. I'm tired of it.
Bino, do you
What's
agree?
a $25,000 fine to a guy who makes $10 million freaking dollars a year, Tony?
Bino, what is the deal with that? And when does he snap? Like really snap, Bino?
Yeah, I don't know, but I watched Hugh Freeze come off the field at halftime, and he basically said everything except for we just got the host job of all time. Yeah. I think it's probably time for Josh to say that.
Yeah, I agree.
And
if he doesn't, I'm not saying he's going to lose the team. I'm not saying they're going to play less hard. I'm not saying anything like that.
He's never going to get calls.
But he's never going to get called.
Never.
I mean, look at Kirby Smart. They are scared shitless of Kirby Smart. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand why. But him and his little Floby haircut scared the living crap out of SEC officials. He scared them into making those 2 calls the other day.
It's amazing.
Like it's almost like he's got Sankey. I'm not saying that's real, but it's almost like they know he's got Sankey in his pocket.
Well, and I appreciate the call. Kirby had a sense of desperation about him at the end of that half when he ran onto the field. He knew that ball just came free. I can't see it. Think about his vantage point. He didn't see whether that ball's a fumble or not. But in his mind, that ball popped out, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get them to call this thing on the field a fumble. So when they go to the booth, because that's how the game is, the call on the field's going to stand. There's never been anything, Bino, more useless in college sports than college replay. It is the dumbest thing in the world. Because they never overturn it. Call on the field is upheld. Every time, Bino.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous.
Pretty much.
And he knew if I can just get them to call this in this spot, I can't stand that bastard. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. You a big Kirby Dumb fan, Bino?
No, I'm not a big Kirby Smart fan.
You were at the game. You didn't see this. The other day, Signetti, there was a pass interference penalty that happened on the far side of the field. And look, when you're at Oregon, Oregon's going to get the calls. I mean, they got the Nike money, and they're in the top 5, and you're Indiana, and you haven't beaten a top 5 team since 1964. And that's only 61 years ago. Think about the history they overcame on Saturday. You know, and you see these teams go through these glass ceilings. He took his headset, Bino, and threw them right at the feet of an official. Made the guy throw a 15-yard penalty on him. And then he unloaded on him in pure Italian mode. Every word he could think of came out of his mouth. You could see the official mouth to him, don't make me throw you out of this game, is what the ref said to him. Josh Heupel needs one of those moments. He needs to take the headset off and throw it at the feet of an official. Kick dirt on somebody. He needs to go old school Billy Martin on somebody, Bino. When Billy Martin and Earl Weaver and those guys would kick dirt on people, that was the greatest thing known to mankind.
Yeah, I don't know what Josh needs to do. I don't know what Danny White needs to do, but watching that game Saturday.
Yeah.
With that team coming in here, 1 penalty. Again, Tennessee's number of penalties is about what they generally have.
Yeah.
That's another issue. But there's no reason for that Arkansas team to get called for 1 penalty. They got called for 3. We declined 2. Okay. Yep. One of them, they just absolutely had to call. It was a wrangle job back there late in the game on a hold on them. I don't. He doesn't appear to get anywhere close to an objective whistle.
And he's a winning coach.
Yeah.
They're treating the guy like he's a joke, like he's a marshmallow over there. Like a big marshmallow. It's kind of disrespectful, really. So Brian Callahan just got fired, Brian.
Dang.
Josh will be happy.
We ass.
There's something that goes on T-shirt, Tony.
We ass. It's always good when your franchise quarterback who just got there feels so at home that he can say to the media, we ass. We ass. It's incredible.
We ass.
We ass. Man, we ass. Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You are on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Hey, Tony. Jason in Georgia. How are you today?
Hey, Jason. Good to hear your voice.
Hey, man. Great show today.
Thank you.
I'm currently driving on I-75 North, which could be the greatest thing that ever came out of this state.
Interesting.
I'm going to be hitting our state line here pretty soon. Hey, the only thing that Kirby Jimmy Hart Smart was missing on the sidelines Saturday night was a megaphone. What a great analogy that Kirby Smart is a wrestling manager. That was just fantastic.
It's exactly how he behaves. He's over there distracting officials, right? That's what he does.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
He ran to the
And
7-yard line,
how
man.
how they bow down to that dude is just beyond me. I don't understand it. That was awful. But I'll say this: Hugh Freeze was giving it to the officials. But did you see that Auburn AD let that guy have it going into halftime?
It was incredible. The Cohen guy chased the officials till the officials weren't on the field anymore. He ran halfway through the end zone before peeling off. I've never seen a sitting AD go over there in the middle of something like that. You know what, though? My mom taught me there's a time and a place for everything, and that was the time and that was the place, because that score was 17-0, and Georgia was buried in that game. If you and I both know, if that score got to 17-0, and Kirby knows this, their ass was grass. They were getting ready to get hammered in that game.
That game was over. And Hugh Freeze, man, hey, hats off to him for his halftime interview.
Yep.
But man, I would love Heupel to have a little bit of that. Heupel needs a little red ass. Now he
does.
He did give it to the officials a little bit, but
no, the thing you got to do though with these officials that we've seen it, he does complain like during games. You got to after the game, you've got to call it out in the media. I've been calling on him to do this for years. Brian, what was the game last year where they got totally jobbed? They were on the road, and he turned the microphone around and said, "You tell me."
Oh, was that Arkansas?
It was after the Arkansas game, and there was something that occurred in the second half, and he turned the microphone around. When you're a head coach, man, in the SEC, and you don't do weak things like that. You speak right in that microphone. You look into that camera, and you say, hey, my guys fought really hard today, and I would like the guys to give us a fair whistle. You know, you're going to miss calls. That's fine. We don't get a fair whistle here. We don't get – you know, in our league, and you could even say this, in our league there's a winner's whistle and a loser's whistle, and everybody knows that. We win a lot more games than we lose. I'm tired of getting a loser's whistle from these people. He would be very justified in saying that because it's the truth.
And a loser's home whistle.
That's what's incredible. And here's the other thing. Bino, I meant to add this when you were talking about this. I encourage anybody to go back and watch the middle third of that game. Once Tennessee started getting home with the pressure in the interior of their line, the stunts and the things they were doing, and, you know, Arkansas just they just don't have a lot of talent. Period. And Tennessee started to get home. Arkansas started to grab, hold, clutch, and none of that was called. I mean, none of it was called. Go back and watch the game and report back to me. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, guys, I think our team is built like those old Indianapolis Colts teams when they had Peyton Manning, when they would just try to go out and outscore everybody, get a lead, and then let the defensive ends, the defensive line pin their ears back and get after the quarterback and try to create some turnovers, you know, get them behind the sticks a little bit. And I think that's how our team is built. We just have no depth. And I think that's just the way college football is built now, because you got it's built like the NFL at this point, except there's 3,000 unrestricted free agents every year. So you have to rebuild your team. It's year to year, but once you get in the year, it's a week-to-week sport right now. And I think it creates great drama, and it's fun. But man, it sure is difficult as a fan to watch your team
It's maddening.
week in and week out.
It's maddening. And, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought our guys, played hard, but I do feel like we know Heupel's not great coming off a bye week, but I think they might have spent a little too much time on Alabama. But I used to think Heupel was going to be our Spurrier, but it's looking more and more like he's our Mark Richt. Anyway, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? If he turns out that he's your Mark Richt wasn't a bad coach. Ain't nothing wrong with Mark Richt. I'll say that right into the microphone right now. Bino, you have a problem if he's a Mark Richt? That's a pretty successful football coach here.
No, I agree, Tony, and that's probably a good analogy.
Yeah.
I think that Heupel probably is closer to Mark Richt than he's ever going to be to Spurrier.
Well, Mark Richt would have lived in the 12-team playoff.
I mean, I sat with ESPN like an hour and a half for an interview the other day about, and who knows how much of it they're probably going to use none of it. Friday after the Friday show. And one of the things that jog on my memory thinking back to the 90s was how Spurrier tortured and tormented this league. Heupel did it for a brief period of time. Spurrier did it, for like 7 or 8 years. He was just so ahead of the curve back then. Now, Heupel did do it for, like when he first came into the league, and they've kind of called the cops on his offensive party a little bit. It's not, it's not what it was. Spurrier, that was just ignorant, some of the stuff he would do and get away with back then. But Mark Richt's good. Mark Richt is a fine coach, a fine person. Georgia won a lot of games. You can do a whole hell of a lot worse than that. And I'll tell you what, Mark Richt in the modern era would have lived in the playoffs. He'd been in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do a whole lot
our
worse
defense,
than that.
Tony, when it's not going to change a whole lot personnel-wise. We're going to be a team that's not very deep on that side, especially deep with experienced players.
Yep.
If this defense is going to be any better, what they have to do is what Richard talked about last week. We have to get off the field more often on third down, and after we give up huge chunks, we've got to bow up and quit giving up a touchdown 80% of the time. Once the team gets in the red zone, that's how this team with this current personnel could improve. Otherwise, it's not going to.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah. And I'm with you. I'm just kind of afraid we got what we got, and that's sort of what you got. And I would play some young kids because the older guys, literally look like somebody said in the chat earlier here on YouTube, and it's a great way of looking at it. The older guys just don't look like instinctive football players out there. And that's, instincts are something you either have or you don't. And there's a talent component to all these sports, and then there's being instinctive. I think that's a fair observation. Bino, we're now into hour 5. Somebody's asked me what that interview for. Okay, so ESPN is doing a documentary. Right now they're filming, and it's nowhere near completion. I'm sure it's a ways away. I don't know what their pipeline's like, but they're doing something on the 98 National Championship Tennessee team. They're looking back at it. And they're looking back at it kind of through the eyes of T. Martin. He came out of the Manning years, ended up with Martin, and they were asking me my recollection of that time, and I said, I do remember that offseason thinking most people thought the Vols would be like an 8-3 team. That was an expectation going into that year. And then when you start looking at that 98 year, you see how one game begat another, begat another, begat another. And then all of a sudden you're on a roll. Crazy year. I don't think we'll ever see another year like that, guys. Not just the winning the championship, but just the way the stars lined up that year, Bino.
Yeah.
Wild year. And if you're going to win a national championship back then, Nebraska had a year where they had a 5th down against Missouri. Florida had a year where they had a couple crazy things happen. You're going to have to play people that get a quarterback hurt here or there, whatever it is. You got to overcome some injuries. You're going to have some funny bounces like we had with the Arkansas deal. Now that it's a playoff sport, a lot of that's out of the window, but you still have to stay healthy in today's game. You still have to stay healthy. So, anything else for us, Beanstar, on the way out?
Tony, I've tried to be a good boy today and look at, review the Arkansas game. And
you're a good boy.
Now it's Alabama week, and everything is out of the windshield for me. I ain't looking in the rearview mirror no more.
Bino, are you watching baseball with the Yankees getting eliminated? You still watching the playoffs, or is that hard for you?
I still like Major League Baseball, Tony. I watch Major League Baseball.
Me too.
Much like the NCAA tournament, I can still watch it when we're gone.
Me too. I was talking to the great Ken Miller the other day. I said, you going to watch some of these games tonight? He goes, no, man. Because he's a Penn State football fan. He goes, no, man.
Yeah.
No. And I'd understand that. If my team that I thought was going to contend for a national championship lost 3 in a row, Bino, even college football, I might take a day off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's got to be hard to get that taste out of your mouth, man. What those people have been through. You imagine that, Bino? And the text I got earlier, and I asked my brother, he said, that's exactly right. That we had a ball squirt through our hands in overtime. We fall on the ball, the game's over. That is a crazy sport. It's crazier now than it's ever been, and it always was a great sport, but it's crazier now than it's ever been.
Great. More wide open.
Yep.
Just
Ricky says, let's
crazy's a good word for it.
Let's start the rumor, Brian. Let's bring James Franklin back home. Put Cam Ward in that James Franklin college offense, and let's take on the NFL. Brian, what do you say?
And let's go 2-15 every year with it, because we ask.
Love you. Appreciate you. Peace. GBO, we ask. And on the way out, as promised, every day this week we will do this because the Lion King got to look into that. You got to Mufasa. You got to tell the lion. You got to look down and see your shadow here. This is who we are. I want to play a call for a guy that lives in Upper East Tennessee, whose name is Big Josh, and I want to get your reaction to this phone Dale call from Jones this gentleman. responding Will to you Big listen Josh. into this and react to it? Listen.
Yes.
All right, here we go. This is Big Josh's call. This is a couple minutes. Just hang in there as Dale Jones is nice enough and gracious enough to join us on the Thursday edition.
We're foaming it at the damn mouth up here in Northeast Tennessee. A bunch of damn crazy Scott Irish, damn just hillbillies are foaming at the mouth, and all us old school guys, this is the week right here. A lot of these young kids, they don't know. This is two teams that built Southern football right here. Third Saturday in October, built the damn SEC. And we've had a bunch of damn clowns over there. All these bozo coaches we've hired, your damn birthright's been stolen from you. This Saturday, you're going to get a chance to see what it is that we've seen growing up. This damn game means something. And them old Alabama fans know it. There's a damn electricity in there up here in these mountains, Tony. I don't know. It feels damn good. They got me so fired up. I just can't hardly be around nobody no more. That's all I want to talk about. I'm a basket case. It's fun as hell, and I'm just appreciative of it. It's different than it was the last time. I'm a little older, and I'm a little more grateful, and I'm thankful to whoever made this happen, but I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to enjoy it while it's here because you better damn cherish it because it don't take long for some damn idiot to mess it all up. I'm just excited as hell, Tony. I don't know how else to put it. Tony, this game here, I grew up in the 80s. You know, Johnny May will always be my damn hero, but my favorite player to ever play is number 54, Dale Jones. Nobody played with more heart than Dale Jones, and the reason I love Dale Jones was he gave it all when we played Alabama. And them kids out there Saturday, they have a chance to leave the same impression on a bunch of young kids watching where they'll never forget them if they lay it on the line Saturday and make a memory for those kids. They just don't realize how much this means to people. Alabama, Tennessee built this damn SEC. That's what it is. The third Saturday in October, and everything's on the line. It's what it's supposed to be. It's our damn birthright as Tennesseans, as Tennessee fans. And I'm just happy we got it back. Go Big Orange. I love you boys.
Dale Dale Jones, to you I say it's our birthright. Tennessee and Alabama, and it's back. Your thoughts on that phone call? He evoked your name, talked about how you're his hero, remembered your number, remembered the play. What was your reaction to hearing that?
That makes me feel good. At least somebody remembers me. I really don't know what to say. I just say everything he says is true. I mean, especially if you're growing up in Tennessee, there's never been anything more exciting or that you'd ever want would be to go kick some ass. It's Alabama.
Listen to how emotional Dale Jones is getting. And Dale, you're at App State now, DC. You tell me your daughter on these off weeks, you would pick her up when she was a kid, and you guys would go to a game. Now, you're not getting to do that this week, but you tell me, Dale, your daughter's going to be there this weekend to see this thing. This thing's coming back to life, and your daughter's going to be in the stands. She's a freshman at UT. What's it mean to you, Dale, that she's going to be there?
Oh, it's awesome. I was hoping that's where she would always want to go. And since she was little, it's always been special to her, just being able to go back, with her dad and just, being a part of it and see her, at Tennessee now. That's just everything I've ever wanted.
Dale, I knew that phone call was going. I told you that off the air. I said, I got a special surprise for you with that phone call. How much of a gift is this, man, for us in Vol Nation to have this thing back right now? I mean, can you feel that, man? Can you feel that?
Oh, I've felt it since the start of the season, to be honest with you. Well, I said it before the season started that I know one thing, that they will end up beating Alabama or Georgia. I truly believe that. And there's something magic back in Tennessee, and just so proud of those guys.
I'm not going to lie, Dale.
Players, coaches.
Listen, man, I teared up right with you when I heard that emotion in your voice. Because truly, at the end of the day, that's what makes college football special. Nobody crying over NFL games. You know what I mean?
That's true. But, it's your life. Everything in Tennessee, about Tennessee, when you're young, you're always wanting, just to go play and have the opportunity. It's special.
Dale Jones, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to say a word to the Living Vol fan as they get ready to file in the thousands and watch around the world by the millions.
Well, the biggest thing is all of you go cheer your ass off and be excited. No matter how it goes, just be excited and cheer them on and go Vols.
Have had nothing to cheer for so long. Have had just such a shit football program for